Sink or swim, we're all in, baby. Welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target. I'm your host, Dustin. Here's Nick.
I knew you were going to do it.
Matt.
Yellow.
Flying the ship. You know him. You love him. Dan.
I'm so flipping excited.
She's coming.
Say hello, fact checker.
Hello, fact checker.
Oh, my.
Is he going to be in the show, really?
Yeah,
or is
I
it
don't
just
know
going
if
to be
he's
a
gonna
hologram?
It's probably going to be like the very end.
Right.
They'll find him.
All right, enjoy the show.
sipping
AHSOKA! All right, don't forget to always stay on target. Welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target. I'm your host, Dustin. Thanks for joining us tonight. Man, we got a lot to get into. What an episode, what an episode, what an episode indeed. Before we get into that, we have with us Dan.
How you guys doing out there? I'm right here in the middle. I'm so happy to be stuck in the middle.
You're stuck
with you.
Stuck in the middle at the kids' table again.
At the kids' table, that's right. It's a great place to be on a special night after what an amazing thing that was.
Oh my goodness, it was absolutely amazing.
My head's still spinning at what Filoni pulled off, and just excited to dig back into that and talk it over with you and everyone here and in the chat. It's gonna be great. Danica the Mannequin's back.
Danica
again.
The Mannequin is back. We got to find you a lobster outfit. I think that would be absolutely hilarious if you showed up in a lobster outfit and we go back to that. Danica.
I'm good with that. I got a pair of inflatable lips somewhere. Maybe we could find that inflatable lobster.
That's like all they would be able to see on camera, though.
Yeah, I know, but it'd be worth it.
Oh, man. And with us, we have with us, as always, the one, the only, the fact checker.
Howdy, how's it going?
Great. It's
Great.
going great.
Good.
Thanks for
good.
joining us, fact checker.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for always checking those facts. I almost reversed it again. I keep doing that.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
you can't
don't
really
do
do
that
that.
Oh, my goodness. The fact checker is amazing.
No.
And
you guys
last but definitely not least, backed by popular demand, really, it's Vader. Big episode for you tonight, Vader. What'd you think about that? I think he's super happy because he's clutching
He's
the
just-
loaf cat very close to his
Yeah,
heart.
he's
To
definitely.
his rebreather.
Yeah, he's like pondering. It looks like deep in thought, just looking up, holding the loft cat,
It's
what an amazing moment for Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh.
He's like, finally, my episode. It was time for me to shine.
Wait, no spoilers.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
That's
Was it
true.
time for him to shine or wasn't it?
I don't know. Lots to get into.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
But we're
Yeah,
happy to have everybody here. We got
Yeah, speaking of which, moderators are on target are in the chat, so be kind, be nice, be friendly. They're always friendly as well.
Well,
Um,
yeah. We have the best community, honestly. Great people, fun, friendly.
yes, everybody's here in the chat. You want me to run down?
Yeah,
who
let's
else is
just
here?
run it down.
Go
Thanks
through.
for joining
Yeah.
us. Let's run through everybody who's
course.
awesome out there.
Hannah Roll and Night Sky, our moderators, inspired the Maroc video last week, so to speak. At least
Yeah.
kicked off the conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
We love their thoughts. Ellie Blair's here. KG is here. Tim Merkins is here. Howdy, howdy.
What's up?
Island Punch Productions. Icy Stormy. Hello there.
Hello there.
Yes, Ellie Blair. Hey, Kirsten Allen, Dustin Witherall. Let's see, Icy Stormy, Carla Hawkins. We got
Skylark.
Skylark,
And you said Kirsten.
Yeah.
The Ninjaneer.
the Ninjaneers here. Yeah,
Maria Espadas.
Maria Espadas. We got yeah,
A
Man.
great crew.
all the way
and
from Yucatan,
Yucatan.
in Mexico.
Man, this is awesome.
It's gonna
It
be-
is awesome. So yeah, if you're in the chat, let us know. Say hi. We'll give you a shout out. Also, we have the poll going. Do you mind if I promote that?
Yeah,
go
promote
right
the poll.
ahead.
Yeah,
Heck yeah, fact
so
checker.
let us know.
You got the facts, baby.
What you think of last night's episode in the poll, because we're not in the spoilers yet. So of course we want to hear thoughts, but poll's easy.
Poll's easy, yeah,
That's
for
right.
sure. And we're gonna get to that. Don't you worry. We have non-spoilers and spoilers coming up. But before we do that, we like to jump into the question of the week.
Yes.
So this week's question was submitted by Hannah Roll. She's always got some classics out there. And this one is, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a good one. If you could portray any character in Star Wars, who would it be? So who would you want to act as, basically? Like, would you want to be Han Solo? Would you want to be Leia? Would you want to be Jar Jar Binks? These are all options that are out there for everybody. So I want to hear in the chat, what are you guys thinking? Dan, what have you had enough time to think about it now that I literally just dropped it?
yeah.
on you?
Which person in the Star Wars universe would I want to be? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
or portray as an
Portray
actor.
as
So
a-
you're
I'm an actor.
an
now.
actor.
You're an actor.
I'm
You're
not myself.
portraying that character.
I'm not the actual person. I'm portraying that person.
Yes.
That's a great question. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got nothing.
Dunzo.
I would like to portray some Jedi because that would be amazing,
be
to
amazing.
use the Force in such a way. So I go with the classic Luke. I love me a Luke. Sometimes as a young Luke, he was a little whiny, but I can be a little whiny. So I think it just comes natural. No, I'm just kidding. Chewbacca.
Oh, you switched. Okay, I thought you already picked one, but
No,
okay.
I'm gonna go. Luke would be number one, and then number two would be maybe a Kanan, somebody like that. Yeah, let's do Kanan.
You have any more you want to?
Chewbacca, maybe Han
It's
Solo.
unlimited.
just call them all.
This is my own world between worlds. I just go between characters. I do whatever I want.
And Dan's movie world, he portrays all of
I was
the
going to say, it's a
characters.
one-man show.
It's a
That's
one man.
awesome.
I mean, I just talk to
It's
myself
like-
all day.
It's like, I love you. And then it's Dan again.
I know.
I know. It's like that guy that does the face. The thing
Oh, the
where he-
face swapping. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I just lost it. Is it Jonathan something?
something or other, but he
does an amazing
He
job.
portrays all those
Absolutely
characters
hilarious.
perfectly, and I don't know how they do that. I mean, I do, but they're
Oh,
talking to each
Hopkins.
other.
Deepfake.
Jonathan
Yes,
Hopkins.
Yeah, Hopkins,
Yeah.
deepfake.
Jonathan
Yeah.
Hopkins.
And he's like having
deepfake
conversations with
technology.
himself. The best, people online are doing that. The
Dude,
funny people. It's
We need
crazy.
to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
And get Nick on that.
I
Speaking of
know.
which Nick and Matt weren't here to make it tonight. It gets busy in the fall. We will just say that on Hoth. There is so much wood to cut to keep us warm. We're fighting off wampas on
Yeah.
a daily basis. Sometimes your tauntauns go down and you're stuck out there walking for miles in the deep, deep snow.
Uphill both ways.
Uphill both ways.
I know.
So show them some love in the chat. when you get a
Bismo
minute.
occasionally brings the Empire to wreck shop.
Yeah, definitely.
And
We got to do that scene.
I know.
That's
just
all
I
on
always
you.
got to watch out.
No, speaking of which, if you haven't had a chance, go back and check out yesterday's episode. Bismo joined us there, and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. And if you haven't yet, go to Bismo's channel, check him out over there. Tell him we sent him. Tell him we say hi as well. So, all right, let's keep going with this question, though. What about you, fact checker?
I think I need more time to
Okay.
think about it. So you jump in.
All right. Well, I was going to
Debating.
say Luke, but Dan kind of covered that one, which is totally fine. So, because I think that would be a fun character to portray. Otherwise, like, as far as like a fun character to portray, I feel like Sidious would actually be pretty fun. Like, he's over the top with everything, and it'd just be kind of goofy to be that like power hungry, kind of over the top character. Do it.
It would be goofy to be that power hungry evil villain.
I don't
But
know.
you could play. Yeah, you're portraying them.
Yeah,
you're not
don't people
taking
say
on
it's
the.
sometimes
I'm
more
not
fun
actually
to play
becoming
the
them.
opposite.
Yeah, the villains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
the
I'm
villains.
like a super nice guy in real life, but
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
in like acting wise, it'd be fun to play the evil guy,
Yeah.
or even
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Maul would
That's
be
true.
amazing.
Ooh,
Oh no, I'm
wow.
pulling a Dan now. I'm sticking with Sidious for now. I'm going
So
complete
many.
opposite, or Vader. There are a lot of options. Dan.
I know.
I realize how difficult this
Well,
is.
you're like
now that
thinking
I'm on
about
the
who would
spot.
I want to actually play, and I'm like, well, that would be fine. But then there's
Han
other
Solo
things about
would
this other
actually
person.
be
Han Solo would be the
amazing.
bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I instantly think of like things that I like to do, but I'm like, but I'm portraying somebody. So why would I want to portray somebody that's like me?
Yeah.
That's why I said Chewbacca. No, I'm just kidding. But or somebody just maybe
'Cause Han
evil. would
Solo
be-
is you.
No, he's not. But
What about you, fact checker? You got any more? You thought about it enough?
Well, I don't know.
Apparently, we can say multiple because
Oh,
that's
nice.
exactly what we
Okay,
did.
good.
So
tough.
just top three.
I'm curious to see what the chat
I know
says
that we gotta
too.
get to
Yeah,
the chat.
I
the
wanna
chat
see
has
what-
but-
some really great answers, but I'm wondering if I should say Omega just because of
Oh
you
my
guys.
goodness.
Oh, Omega.
If Matt
Oh.
and Nick
I'm
were
just
here,
kidding. No,
they would
I'm
be
just
shouting
kidding.
at you right now.
Oh man.
No, I keep coming back to Leia. I mean, just
Oh, wow.
classic. I don't know. Seems-
Senator Organa.
Yeah,
Senator.
yeah.
Oh, little D's.
Would be neat. I mean,
Can't
there's
go wrong.
lots to choose from, but that's what.
Not
I'd stick
Padme?
with. I mean, Padme, but I know we don't love the prequels as much.
What?
Oh, people love the prequels
Oh,
as
okay.
much.
Well,
We
there's
don't?
parts of like Padme's
Performance.
times that I don't love.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're
But
saying.
I
Leia, I
yeah,
think.
Whereas Leia, you're
Yeah.
more like Leia,
mostly
charging ahead and taking.
Yeah.
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 You know when to.
Or Hera. Or Sabine.
Oh, Hera or Sabine. Yeah. I was thinking Rebels too. I went
Yeah.
Luke, and then that's why I went Kanan. Kanan would be cool.
We could have done like Rebels.
Yeah.
That would be maybe another
That would-
question for another time.
Yeah.
What about you, Vades? I'm pretty sure he said
I was gonna
Vader.
say.
I mean,
Yeah,
Sticking
he is
true.
Vader, so he's just sticking true to himself.
Maybe he wants to actually portray the Loth Cat.
Oh, the Loth Cat.
I love how his like shoulders move, but his arms stay still. It's kind of scary.
Don't worry about it.
Or does
We
he,
can do that.
That's true. Not that easy. Like my arms move a little bit.
Moving on target.
Wow.
New.
Or
All right, let's keep.
Does Vades want to be a cup?
Yeah.
He might want to be a cup, a force wielding
Yes,
cup.
because that is the true enemy of this
That's
series
right.
so far.
He's holding on to it. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So what's everybody in the chat saying? I
Yeah.
know we got everybody in the chats is answering, and I
Mhm.
want to hear everybody because they are all amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So right off the get-go, Hannah, who submitted the question,
Thank you,
s-
Hannah.
said she would be Bastilla.
Oh, Bastilla Shan. Yeah,
Yes.
that's from I think Knights of the Old
Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay.
Okay.
Boom. That's a really cool character. Really
Yeah.
cool character.
I think she's done some artwork on her, so I can kind of picture it.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Skylark said, love to portray Duchess Satine.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Awesome.
Tragic, but good.
Well, true.
Don't give anything away.
Don't spoil that goodness.
Oh, man. Night Sky, I'd be Mission Vow? Barris Ryo Chuchi, or
Yep.
young Arlana.
Mission Vow, Barris, Ryo Chuchi, and young Arelani.
Young Arlani. Yes. Those are good.
Yeah.
Great
All
choices.
great
Yeah, they're picking a few. I'm just defending myself because I couldn't pick one.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If you
I
could
was a little
portray,
harsh on you in the beginning.
I know, but I
I'm
can
coming
take
around.
the heat. You know, if you can't take the heat, get out of the lava.
Says Danikin.
Says Danikin. I know how to take the heat. I told you.
Oh man. Sorry.
Uh,
Solid.
Who else?
Yeah.
We got more. I know
Kirsten
we got more.
said Attain Mukan. Wait. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know where you're reading these.
Yeah, and right there, and Icy can be my Darman.
Yeah.
Oh,
big,
sorry, okay.
I'm big into Republic Commandos.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Good stuff.
I like that. I like that.
Let's see. The Ninjaneer, Mandalore the Ultimate.
Oh, big time.
Going for the I like
Nice.
that.
Nobody said Grogu yet.
Oh.
Well,
That
I
can be
mean,
a little tricky.
I almost said Yoda because I love
Yeah.
Yoda, but I'm like,
Mhm.
you're a puppet. It's not actually
Yeah.
like you
True.
portraying it. I mean, it's your voice, but
Yeah.
I don't
be
know.
an
That-
Ewok.
It just sounded really difficult to
I would be
portray.
okay being a voice actor, like
Yeah, voice acting's
puppeting or portraying a puppet, as so to
Right.
speak, or being behind a mask would be kind of cool, like
You are
Dinjar.
a puppet.
Or what? I can't portray a puppet. Apparently, I could voice act a puppet. What does a
I
puppet
got
do?
weird again.
All
All right, who else? What else we got?
Maria
Yeah.
Espada said Bo-Katan, of
Oh,
course.
yes.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
huge Mando fan, right,
Awesome.
Marie?
Definitely.
Yes.
That's right. I think
definitely.
Mando would actually be really fun to portray
That
That would be cool.
because you don't have to
lot of
take your
body
helmet off
movements.
unless it's really important. And I like to wear hats and sunglasses, so that's half of a helmet.
right there. Hat and the sunglasses, half a helmet.
Come
You
on.
heard it here, everybody.
It covers your dome and it covers your
That's
eyeballs.
your dome and your
You just
eyeballs.
gotta
That's
cover
what a
that
helmet is.
schnoz in that mouth, and then you're all good.
Oh wow, hot
Yeah.
takes from Dan. What else? I know we got more people
KG
out
said
there
I
answering.
could pull off a dark Clea.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
A dark Clea.
Yep.
Ellie said 1 Hera, 2 Bastilla, 3 Pain? Or is that Padme?
Padme probably.
Okay. Yeah.
And Kira, maybe? She said later on.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kira. Yep.
Kira.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kira would be a good one. I do. What a wasted opportunity. You know what's funny in a lot of ways is that actress who plays Kira.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot of movies she gets into, it's like they're not very good, and it's not her fault.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
she's a
Just
great
like-
actress.
She's a good actress. She just
Yeah.
lands in movies that don't
Oh.
land.
That's true.
I feel kind of bad because it happened with like the Terminator movie she was in.
Yeah.
And it happened with the Han Solo movie, and they had like more plans for him, and they never go anywhere.
Oh,
And it just
man.
happened again, I think, in Secret Wars,
Oh.
Marvel, which is like one of the.
She's a great actress, but the
Yeah.
projects she picks are not always like box office.
I mean, they should
beloved.
be.
Yeah.
They're always like, it's Star Wars. It's
But wasn't she like
Terminator. It's
Game of Thrones?
Yeah, she's
though?
Game of
So-
Thrones,
So she's
yeah.
already had massive success in that sense.
She has.
But the films she's trying to break in.
and she's had some other
Mhm.
successes in films, but just not in the ones you
Okay.
think would be super
The
successful.
big box office ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it's just kind of funny to me. Not funny. I feel bad in some ways. But, I mean,
You're
she's a
laughing,
millionaire, so it's no
Dustin.
big deal. But anyway, I see Dustin Witherall says I
yeah.
could portray any character with a mask.
Yeah.
I like
There you
that.
go.
Later
That's
on,
kinda-
he said I could be K2SO.
K2. Oh,
There you
I
go, a
like that
droid.
one.
That would be
That would be
cool.
really
Why
fun.
don't we say
too.
droid? Yeah. Portraying like C3PO would be kind
C-3PO
of
would be
interesting because you
funny.
just like mouth off at everybody. Or mouthing off like
Or now Hu
Chopper.
Yang.
Chop-
Chopper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
like, kind of can understand him, but you're like, Nobody understands me anyway when I'm talking. So I could be Chopper.
I think you're the only one who thinks that.
I can't understand what I say. Can any of you understand?
Well, the Ninjaneer did say at Sith Master Dan, the man swiping right, meow.
Right, meow. Yes.
Who said that? The
The
Ninjaneer?
Ninjaneer.
Yeah, bro.
hilarious.
Swipe right.
That
if-
was such
if
a
you wanna-
hilarious monologue you went into there too.
I mean, come on.
That was one of my favorite.
Don't just
shorts.
stab. Swipe right. However, I think that meant a lot more now in this new world we live in with this show. I'm just saying.
Okay,
You're
Dan's
gonna have to
thoughts for
explain
later.
a little bit more on that. 'cause
Well,
I'm
you'll
sure.
get it
'Cause
really
I'm not
quickly.
understanding your words this time.
I'm not that smart and nobody understands me. But yeah, it's all good.
Bringing it back.
Somebody else said
You know,
something
We've
else.
got a
in
few
here.
more.
Did-
KG's
okay, I think
okay.
I realized the one character I should portray.
Oh, do it.
Oh, he figured it out.
Marak.
Oh, man. Why didn't we see
no.
it? We missed it.
You mean Star Killer?
Yeah, Star Killer. That's who I want.
Star
That's
Killer
who you should
Marak.
be.
Come on, baby.
Look, a Star Killer wears a mask, right? And then
Yeah,
he
he
takes it
does.
off. He has
Well,
moments, mostly
no.
off.
Yeah, it's most. Yeah,
So
until
you-
he becomes like a Sith and he wears the mask.
So what you want to portray is Sam Witwer portraying Star Killer.
yes.
There you go. Well, KG also had a good one. Ferrix bell ringer.
Oh, the bell ringer. I thought she said.
yes. I would love to be that guy. He was
Mhm.
awesome.
Or what
She
about the
said
drum
Bixed.
guy?
And the
Or is
drummer.
that-
That's
drum-
the,
that's the
okay,
guy, yeah,
that's
the
what it
bell
was.
ringer.
Okay.
Same guy,
Yeah, I
yeah.
was getting confused with the Ahsoka episode from Mando
Oh yeah,
because wasn't there bells there too?
There was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
yeah.
you're right. Actually, there was in that one.
and yeah, that's a good one. And then Bix, KG said Bix, Jin,
Bix, yeah.
Jin
Yeah.
or so.
And
Island
Breeze
said
jumped
Chopper.
in. Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
And Breeze jumped in and said, "Did anyone say Ahsoka?" So yeah, that's
No.
a great answer.
That is a great one.
You said Empress jumped in.
And Breeze.
Emberese. All
Yeah.
right. And Bree Muse here.
What's up, Brie Mew?
Deidre is a good one. Deidre.
Miss
Oh,
Manrique said
boy.
that, yeah.
Mrs. Reek Manrique said that. Okay. And then Bree Muse was responding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shinhati, Padme.
Emberese, did anyone say Ahsoka? I don't think so. I think we're trying to cover the whole, like, we're all going to portray somebody, right?
Yeah,
gotta cover the
everybody
whole
is everybody.
Yeah. Okay. We got it all
I think we got.
acted out.
I think we
Wait.
got all the basics
Well,
covered,
Ninjaneers-
and Dan covers them all himself. So
I got the rest. I got the rest.
the rest.
Ninjaneer said at stay on target. If you want to, by the way, get us to read for sure what you say, if you put that little at stay on target, it lights it up red.
Yeah,
I learned this on Bismo Stream, and then we can see it easier. I knew it happened,
Oh, okay.
but I didn't know like it
Oh, okay.
automatically.
It's a good thing to mention. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yes, or the ultimate role to portray Jar Jar Binks.
yes.
That's
Nice.
No, who I'd want to portray is Darth Jar Jar.
Darth
who's
Jar Jar.
actually Plagueis.
He is. Well, you think he is?
I would love that. I love that theory still. I think it's amazing. I still think there's
There's
there's room for it, and I think they actually were going that route.
I think they could have.
I think George realized that it was going to be a little too dark for the kiddos, so he pulled back on that idea. But all right, everybody had some great.
It's
Real
just-
fast. Ellie said, Dustin, you only want to be Marak because of Shin Hati.
Oh,
Oh.
Shinrock, baby.
Shinrock. You shipping Shinrock?
We're always
Shipping somebody. Somebody.
Shipping a rock.
Shinrock. What was the other one? We got Shinrock. We got.
Well, Ezra Bean, but
Wasn't there like a Balin one too? Like
really, Balin Soka?
yeah, Baysoka
Oh.
or something.
Baysoka?
maybe.
Something like that. I don't know. We're shipping
Or
everything.
Thrawn Soka.
Thrawn Soka.
Thrawn Soka.
Or no, was it Thrawn? Morgan Elsbeth.
Mm.
Thrawn Beth.
Thrawn Beth.
Ugh, no,
What-
gross.
What would you do for Morgan and Thrawn? What would?
Yeah.
I don't know. Morgan and Thrawn.
Well, Elsbeth and Thrawn. Yeah. What
Yeah.
would you say? What would be their name? The chat will
Well-
think of it in
mean
0.3
like the-
seconds.
Well, his whole name is
Thrawnmore.
yeah.
Thrawn more. Yeah.
Mithron
Or no, that's her. first
Yorodo
name.
is his full name.
Oh.
I'm
Wow.
sure Night Sky's probably gonna correct me on that, but
Yeah.
it's close. I'm close. So I don't know.
Okay.
That's
They
a good
said
question. You know,
uh,
that's it should be maybe a question for another time. Is what relationship do you want to see happen in the Star Wars universe? I think that maybe not right now. We're
okay.
gonna
That's
table
that's
it,
fine.
but think about that, guys, from next time. All right, we don't have time going to it right now.
Wait,
but
do you
if-
want me to write it down? What'd
yeah,
you say?
yeah. What relationship in Star Wars do you want the Bo-Din relationship to happen? Oh, baby, you know, and do you want to see it live action? Because like we've said so many times, is Star Wars. What Star Wars is missing right now is a good love story.
We need a
it
stinking
is
good love story.
absolutely missing it. They're missing the mark. Come on. That's what people can get behind. That's what gets you excited. You want to see them together. You want to see a happy ever after.
Aw. Okay, Night Sky did jump in.
What?
Night Sky.
Mithra Nurodu.
Yep.
Yep. Nice.
Nurodu. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Mithron
somebody
Nurodu.
threw out Morlon. What is Morlon?
So
Oh, Morgan and Thrawn.
Morgan and
yeah.
Thrawn, yeah.
So, but it needs to be Elsbeth. So,
Well, not necessarily. We usually combine their first.
oh, that's true. Oh,
Their
that's true.
first
Yeah,
two.
yeah. So,
This is our process,
So
everybody.
Mythmore?
Mythmore.
Behind the scenes look at how we come up with these names. Usually they're live on air
Yeah.
with all of you.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
that was great.
these are all the things. It's so fun now because of what we got last night in the episode, which I'm sure we're going to talk about shortly.
We will.
It just blew wide open the Star Wars universe again for us fans.
Ba-boom!
I think so. Do you guys agree in the chat? Because I think it really opened up a fresh new can of worms, or
Careful.
Filoni worms. Filoni worms.
Yeah. We're calling it here Filoni worms.
That's right.
New term we call it.
Hashtag Filoni worms.
is that food on target?
You are so good with coming up with the hashtag.
I don't know, but I
When you say Wrinkle Man was in Bismo stream last week, it was hilarious.
Wrinkle Man. That's right. Well, that was based on what Nick had gone into.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, this
I
is
know.
what's
Too bad he's not here tonight to get a follow up with that.
But we
for
at least
the
have his
episode,
input
but-
from watching the episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
true.
We'll
We
speak
know
for
what
him.
he said. We speak for him. We watched
Vade
it.
speaks for him.
Vades knows exactly what he said. He recorded it.
Filoni worms. That's what Vader says.
That's what he said. I love it. But
I find your lack of Filoni
I'm just saying, so
worms.
we can talk about like theories. We can talk about what love story do we want to see. It actually might happen now.
Yeah, that's
Like
what we said
before,
last
there was
time.
nobody that had the creativity to even dream, right?
They don't even have the creative. They can't even sleep.
They
at
couldn't.
night.
Like, I mean, the Star Wars they were dishing out was like,
Right.
bleh. Like us fans had way better stories.
Right. Yeah. no, for
However,
sure.
I think Filoni just one upped everybody.
Yeah.
We
I
have
mean,
officially been one upped.
We've been one up. He like we were saying last night. He definitely. Dave Filoni is one of the only creatives in Lucasfilm right now that doesn't mind swinging for the fences. He will take risks, and he will give us things that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
And introduce new things, and he's not afraid to touch on lore, but he also knows how to do it in a respectful and fun way. The chat's getting out,
ripping on the worms.
They're they love the. Dan's got the greatest hashtags ever. I love
And
it.
Skylark,
Filoni worms.
another shirt quote. They,
Yeah,
they didn't
another
even have
shirt
the
quote.
creativity to dream.
They didn't
Definitely.
even have the creative. They didn't have the creativity to dream. Come on, I would sit down with Filoni for like 6 days and just go to a master class on how to dream
Yeah.
up a story.
I'd want to be with George Lucas and Dave Filoni.
Oh man,
and John Favreau.
they
I'd
could
want
charge
the three
so
of
much
them
money. They just need to go
together.
on tour. And
They
we can
just
all just.
recorded their sessions together
Oh my!
Ooh.
and then
goodness.
just release that like behind the scenes. I mean, everyone
be
would eat that
amazing.
up.
The
but-
Filoni George Lucas podcast.
Just like you know how many like stories or like films could come out of those three if they just brainstormed like in sessions together. Like, yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and they just like brainstorm all these amazing things. That'd be awesome. I'd love that.
well, because what the stuff it comes from just talking it out, right?
Yeah,
they just,
it does.
They
You
just
know,
dream. They're like, oh, I'd love to see this.
a good idea, but they're also all very good storytellers. So
Mhm.
they would also know how to construct
Yes.
a narrative and
True.
a plot, a three arc structure, all that good stuff. Plus, because even George Lucas, he went to film school for a long time and he was very adamant about certain things in film school, but could again deviate in a way that made sense, but still fresh
Yeah.
and original. But he knew how to keep it true to like the roots, the film roots that make things good. Akira Kurosawa, he used that inspiration with a lot of things. But
Yeah.
he took like the best of a lot of different movies and
Mhm.
stories that he'd heard and seen and kind of melded them all together. And that's
Yeah.
part of what made it so great.
Dude,
But
that's awesome.
yeah,
Mhm.
it is. And I would love to be in that class.
Well, it's also great that we know this time he dug into
Arthurian legend.
Yes, thank you.
Jinx.
Which
Jinx
is
again.
Go ahead, back there. Sorry.
which is so cool because that resonates with so many of of followers, fans out there.
Yeah.
Is that kind of stuff. So he's smart. He's very, very smart.
He's a smart man. Speaking of t-shirts a minute ago, I was gonna make that transition because it would have worked perfectly, but now it's a little rough. But we're still going for it. Check out our merch. Our merch is gonna be up here in just a sec. The fact checker is gonna throw it in there. Our merch store is up, and we do have new merch coming. We just are
All right.
crossing the T's, dotting the I's, making sure everything's perfect for you guys out there. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be good. And if you guys want to see any merch or want any shirts or specific things, let us know because we're still looking for more ideas and we want to make sure we get you guys what you want. And going back to the question of the week, thank you everybody for answering. You guys had amazing answers and we appreciate every single one of you. If you want to have your question read, if you have a question that you want read on the show for the question of the week, submit it to stayontarget.contact@gmail.com. And you might be lucky enough to have your question read. I had to go to announcer voice for that. It just made sense.
It made perfect sense. Good job, man.
Thanks. We do have one more question. It's a little bit of a curveball. We do really need to get into the episode. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to jump right into, we're going to do an audible. We're going to jump right into non-spoilers and maybe we'll throw that other question out later.
Although really fast,
Yes,
Ellie
fact
Blair
checker.
has a great callback, probably for a merch idea. Does your phone have a touchscreen?
Yes, we need to do it.
That's
Grandpa's on
good.
target.
I want to get that short done. I got to get that short done, right?
That was
Isn't
so funny.
I don't remember that at all.
That was
Oh,
one of the
nice.
funniest things that Nick ever said, and it wasn't even on purpose.
I know,
and
that's
then he ripped
hilarious.
himself apart, which is even
Okay.
funnier. It's like
your
he
fault.
realized what he said, and he was just like,
Okay.
"Did I just say that?"
Yeah. Well, I think, didn't I call him out, which
Yeah,
I
I
felt
think you
really
did.
good
You
about
did
being the
feel-
first
yeah.
one to.
I must have been
checker-
sleeping. Was I even here that night?
I think you were burnt in the corner.
Yeah, I was just a little red.
No, I think
Red
you were
Robin.
still out and about fighting the tauntauns and the
Probably.
wampas,
Probably.
trying to get to us.
Icy Stormy, stay on target. Try to stay on target challenge. Impossible.
It's impossible.
For sure.
We never stay on target. That's-
And Jane Doe is here, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say,
okay.
speaking of shirts, Jane Doe is here.
oh no,
Jane Doe is here.
Jane Doe is
she
here.
Said, hey,
Welcome, Jane
what's
Doe.
up?
Thanks for joining.
Yes. G-rated Jane.
G-rated Jane.
G.I. Jane.
We appreciate everybody keeping it G-rated in the
Yeah.
comments and
Yeah.
everything. We really appreciate that. 'Cause
We-
we like to be
we-
a channel. Do you have something to say?
No. I'm just trying to be like Nick. I just want to be like Nick.
Just want to be. Well, you're sitting in his chair.
Yeah.
No. Jane Doe says no. Rated R. Uh-oh.
I know.
Oh,
Because she's a pirate. That's
she is
why.
oh, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Actually, next Tuesday is Speak Like a Pirate Day, so I feel like
Oh,
might
we gotta
something
do
about it.
something.
National Speak Like a Pirate Day.
Ooh,
If you're in the States.
Well, you guys can do it
perfect.
because I might not be here. But you guys will
Arr.
get it. You guys will figure it out.
Dude.
Nice.
Good luck.
Oh no! So the pirates are commandeering the ship.
Yep, that's
Ooh,
right.
what's
That's
there we
happening?
go.
Oh, I love it.
Everything's fair game.
Everything's fair game.
And
Yeah.
nothing might happen at all.
That's
Well,
great.
It's the pilot's not
it,
here.
It could sink or swim, like you started your opener.
Yeah,
It might sink or swim.
Speaking of singing or swimming, I think we're singing right now. We should
Yep,
probably
let's
get
go.
to the non-spoilers.
Let's float back up to the top, Dustin.
Let's float back up. All right, let's jump into these non-spoilers. Pros and cons, baby. Pros and cons.
I gotta.
That's why I'm still singing.
Oh no, what's going on? Keep it going, Nestor.
Pros and cons, baby. Pros and cons. Oh, what a lead up that was for that quick intro.
Wow.
Not sure it was worth it. No, it definitely was. Great work, Dan. Of course, as always, you're amazing. All right, let's get into some cons first, and then we'll go into the pros because there's not many cons in my humble opinion. Oh man. What I mean, do you have?
People
you
wondered
guys-
if you died
I
there.
think I did.
They're a little worried about
I
you.
died
You
on
need
you.
to breathe.
Well done. He's a Force Ghost now, says Ellie Blair.
Yes, I am.
But-
just blew the whole rest of the
Dust rock.
Dust Rock. We got to do
Rock.
that now.
show. Maroc?
Yeah.
Dust rock.
Dust rock.
Oh, because I died. And
Rock dust.
Rock.
Ooh. Ooh.
I love it. We're off target.
Yep,
Again,
okay, sorry.
immediately cons of this episode.
Cons.
I'm gonna lead a little bit here.
Okay.
Still a little slight pacing issue. It's a nitpick. This is a nitpick.
Yeah, no, I've heard people say this.
Nitpick con. Okay. I do still feel like Dave Filoni worms are still. He's still stretching scenes just a little too much. I feel like he could tighten up just a little bit. It's literally just a nitpick though. And the other reason I could even argue against myself on this is if I watched it in theaters, I don't think it would be as bad. In a theater, you're kind of there for the spectacle in a lot of way. Watching it on TV, you still are, but in a theater, there's so much more going on with the audio and everything like that. It's really cool to see. And I wish I could have seen that in theaters. Let us know if you saw that in theaters. I want to know who saw that in theaters. But yeah, that's one little nitpick there. Did you just pee over there? It totally sounded like you were peeing, which you definitely were, and I should not have called that out.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely hilarious sounding. I was trying not to laugh the whole time. You were just
I
refreshing.
just refilled my coffee.
Oh no!
Don't tell him the secrets.
I don't.
No,
tell
I
him.
understand. I understand the pacing issue as I sip on my coffee. Yeah, I didn't get to see it in the theater, but I understand the theater portion would have been, in the theater, you're there, you're undistracted, you get you're committed, right? And I'm sure that movie it was only 49 minutes. That's a pretty short movie in the theater.
Very short movie.
So every second that you get is gold on the large screen with this kind of stuff. And every second that we got was gold. So I didn't mind any of the pacing. I don't mind the slower moving extended cuts. I prefer the extended cut of the Lord of the Rings because I want all of the extra pauses and the facial expressions and the
that's based off
transitions.
The book too, so there's so much more to it.
So, and I know Filoni, he does this for a purpose now, but I also can see your point from the other side. Clearly, I cannot
It's a small.
trust the wine in front of you. I'm contradicting myself. But yeah, I could see that.
Name that movie reference. If people get that movie reference,
they'll get it.
Amazing. Yeah.
One of my favorites. But no, they can, argue that, Dave Filoni, as a filmmaker, he's figuring out how to still cut things down to like the necessities to get the point across, right? Because when you are making a movie, otherwise every movie you make is going to be like 3.5 hours.
Every movie you make.
And you can't really do that because it's a lot. It's just too long. And people, even in the movie theater, are going to put up with 2.5 hours. But if it's just, extra fluff, Filoni fluff, we don't need Filoni fluff. We need Filoni worms.
Hashtag Filoni fluff.
But long story short, that may be a slight con, but for me, I'm erring on the side of pro.
It feels like he's still like just working the kinks out with his directing live action. It's a totally different animal when you're directing live action versus animated, because animated, you have to be so, I don't know, precise, and it's not as much of a spectacle. It's still a spectacle the way, depending on how you do it, but you're definitely to the story. Live action, you work so hard to get these scenes that it's hard to cut things, and you think everything looks good. So that's just one little nitpick, I think, right there. Another con for me still is, I hate to say it. It got better by the end.
Be careful. Just kidding.
But
Ahsoka's acting.
still the weakest link for me. It's not terrible.
You're talking
in this episode, at least
you can't spoil anything.
I'm not going to spoil it, but at least there was a little bit of a reason for it. At least they kind of explain a reason for it. But still, it's just like a quarter off. It's not like terrible, but it's just when it comes to everybody's acting on the show so far, I really feel like her acting still is just not quite there for me.
You're just an Ashley Eckstein purist.
Partially.
I don't know if I'd go that route. And I understand. So I don't think it's totally her fault in some ways, because if you look at Rebels, she's acting so much like Rebels.
Yeah.
So she's doing a good job when it comes to that, but I just don't feel like it's translating as well with her personality and it being live action. I feel like live action, it's just totally different. So, because it's like everything is like, it's like everything's so slow.
But you can't move your mouth. You know, your mouth has to be. You even had more movement on your mouth.
I think I had more movement.
Like the mouth has to stay perfectly still the whole time. I think we need to do this. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's part of it.
Yeah.
It feels a little one note.
It's like not every single thing you say has to be like introspective or like pondering on everything. It just feels off. Like it doesn't feel like a normal person. That's the thing. It's not feeling like a normal person. Like if we're having a conversation, I don't need you to think about it for 8 seconds before you respond to like a yes or no question.
It feels like more of like a stage delivery, like on stage delivering a line versus, just
it feels like she's trying too hard.
Right.
That's the thing.
I watched a really good thing on Ian McKellen talking about, for this purpose, actors portraying roles.
Yeah.
And how
Who's Ian McKellen?
If it's just what?
Who's Ian McKellen? It applies very well.
Oh yeah, he was in Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
And what else?
No, wasn't he?
He's a bad guy in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Or no, he was. Ian McKellen was Gandalf.
Yes.
Yep.
You just got it. Okay. Sorry, no spoilers.
But he was talking about how actors, if they're just a little bit off, like if they're just a little bit not relaxed, the whole thing is basically out the window.
Yeah.
And especially on film. He said the difference between film and stage is that stage, they can see your whole body. They can see your feet. They can see your hands. They can see your legs. So if your hand's shaking on cam or on stage, everybody notices that.
Definitely.
But on screen, it's all in your face.
There's so much. Yeah.
And
it's
if
so
you're
close. There's so many different things going on.
And with Ahsoka, there has been some full body stuff going on in the fights or whatever. But like when she's talking, just this. And I know there's a lot of makeup and a lot of prosthetics.
Right. There's a lot that goes into
that. Probably makes it a little bit hard, but
they just need that direction, faster and more intensity.
Yeah, I think so. But I think she's getting there. Non-spoilers.
Yeah.
I think we're starting to see a glimmer of hope.
Yes, for
sure. As things have progressed in this particular episode 5. Ian McKellen was also Magneto.
Yes, he was.
That's right.
Yeah, Ian McKellen. He does portray quite a few things. And also, Ian McKellen is the bad guy in the movie, the 80s movie we like, fact checker, The Scarlet Pimpernel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
a great movie.
That's what he looks like in this interview that I saw.
Me.
Yeah. He looks just like that.
If you haven't seen that movie, it is a great movie. It's a little hard to watch. It's a little dark in certain scenes because it was a TV-made movie, but it's a fantastic movie. It's fantastic. Go and watch it.
Anyway,
right up, not quite Princess Bride quality, but close in certain ways.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say fact
they just
checker?
need to you can re-release stuff in high quality
They
or
should
something.
go back and
That's
redo
all
that
they
one.
need to do.
Just digitally remaster.
Don't redo the movie. Like don't
special editions.
Yeah, or don't remake it.
Oh
basically.
yeah. Don't remake it. Just remaster
Yeah,
it.
just remaster it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Anyway,
on that.
off target.
Yeah, but I have two other minor gripes.
Non-spoiler gripes.
I'll say oh shoot, I think I lost it. No, one of them was speaking of acting. I really like Carson Teva, but he's a little cheesy. Okay, but it's a nitpick. I still really like him.
Yeah.
And he feels like a fan.
Yes, he does,
which is totally fine, and that's why I still really like him. It's just again, some of his deliveries are a little
prime example. Yeah, that Ahsoka can be. You could say she is this way for a reason. Like Filoni told her to do this for a reason.
Yeah,
to some degree. And she's almost there, But Carson is a little bit like, just have fun with it, Carson.
Yeah, but he's fun to watch.
He's like,
though,
okay,
so,
what'd you call him,
and then
Dan?
the other thing that was hilarious when we were watching the episode was Dan.
Well, because we paused it at this one shot.
You gotta tell him. You gotta tell him because it was a running gag.
I gotta find the screenshot. But no, like he's on the screen, just standing there, like talking to Jason. Well, I can't spoil it, but he's sitting there talking, and all I could think about was how much he looks like Santa Claus.
He totally looked like Santa Claus.
He looked just like Santa Claus. He's got like the orange jumpsuit, not the red suit, but turn the orange jumpsuit red, put the hat on him.
Yeah, seriously.
He's got the beard. He's got the jolliness.
Yeah.
And the rotundness. And he's got he's just the man.
Well, and he's like
San-teva.
he's like a happy, dude. So you could totally see it. He's such a nice, jolly old fella.
Like once a year he goes and he brings presents to kids on planets.
That's why the whole time it was like a countdown, and we were like, he's got to be somewhere, okay? There are kids that need presents, okay? The whole episode. If you rewatch that episode thinking that Carson is actually Santa Claus, and it will bring a totally different aspect.
Who did you say was his elves?
Oh, it was. Oh, shoot.
We were saying the Ewoks, right?
Oh,
the Ewoks would be his little elves.
Like, all the Ewoks are making the presents.
Or Ellie said, I said, Balin looks like an evil Santa. So
Yeah.
there you
Yeah, he
go.
does.
We've got
We
both
got-
sides.
We
Good
got
and evil.
Krampus and or
Oh.
would that be Krampus? I don't know what Krampus is actually. Santa Claus. is
Santa
coming.
Claus. Yeah, I love that.
Oh,
but
that was absolutely
Carson
hilarious.
Teva's acting. We said the same thing during Mandalorian season 3, though. So that's continuous.
Yeah,
That's not a spoiler because he was in the previous episode.
yeah, he was for sure. Well, we knew he was there. Yeah,
Oh, we knew he was there,
we knew he was there.
and we saw him survive the jump that this Eye of Sion made last episode.
Yes,
So we knew that he survived, and a
Yeah.
couple of important characters like Brendan Wayne,
Brendan Wayne.
so on and so
good.
forth. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think my only con was not enough music. No, I'm kidding.
What? The
We'll
music?
we'll save that for later.
Music was amazing.
I said not enough music.
Oh, okay.
Which is totally not true. It
Uh,
was amazing.
The only other con in some ways to me, which I mean, it's not. Don't hate me too much, but it seems like all the leadership in the New Republic is female. Not all of it. Okay, don't hate me.
They hate you.
It's just I don't know. I don't love that fact. It just feels a little off to me. It makes me think more real life than in the Star Wars galaxy.
Wait, what?
It's a consistent
There-
thing with Disney
It's-
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Consistent thing with
Okay.
Disney
You're talking
Star
about on the one ship
Wars. Yes.
because
yes,
they
the one
added
ship.
that, et
Yeah.
cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I understand that.
So anyway, that's just a very minor, more nitpick type thing, but I did notice that again. But let's get into some pros, though. We got some pros. We got
Yeah,
a
lots
lot
of
of
pros.
pros here, and we're gonna get to the chat. Don't you worry here in a minute. We know you guys got some hot takes.
Pros.
Pros.
The
Dan,
non-spoilers music. I mean, this is a peak Star Wars in every way, in my opinion, including the music, and maybe leading the way is the music. Kevin Kiner, I say this every week, it's a broken record, but he is not a broken record. He is a fresh record,
he's a fresh
and he's bringing in those fresh spins with the music and the instruments that he drops at the right moment and the swells. I'm like, I didn't even think we could get any better, and then it gets better. And he just told the story of this show, of this particular episode, so powerfully, and it was fantastic, phenomenal. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Pros, non-spoiler pros. When we go to a different realm, it's not a technically. It's on
Go
the
through
last
some
episode.
scenes.
That was a huge pro for me.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of fan service in a lot of ways, but I feel like it was done right,
It
and I
was,
definitely enjoyed it quite a bit, and it made me want to relive more of those scenes in live action.
Yeah.
More, I guess you could say, without spoiling anything. The action was solid. The actor who was portrayed in that one did a fantastic job, and he definitely sold the fight scenes. I felt
Yes.
he fell right back into his old like fighting style. I loved it. I really enjoyed that, and what a great way they depicted it all too. Like the way
Yeah.
that they went through the scenes. It was amazing. That was definitely a huge
yeah.
pro.
We got to get into spoilers. I got to talk about this.
I know we got. It's
But
difficult not
not
to spoil
rushing.
anything.
because not everybody has seen it.
True. Not everybody has seen it, so we're trying not to spoil everything.
Yep.
And another pro for me is Jason in this episode. That kid he's acting well, very well. I don't like some of this younger actor I feel like is out acting Ahsoka in my opinion.
Yeah.
I really have enjoyed his portrayal, and it's exciting for me to see him in this because there's so much more to come. With him, that's why it's
Yes.
exciting. We've already seen all these characters. He's like a new character,
A fresh new character.
and we're getting so much from him. He's with Chop,
Yes.
and it's just
Yeah.
it's amazing.
It brings me back to Rebels
yes, exactly.
in the best way.
Yeah.
But also carrying on Rebels in this Ahsoka show. Because we've never seen him in Rebels except for the ending shot. And so now we're getting to know him in Ahsoka, which isn't Rebels 5, but it basically is.
Basically.
Yeah.
And they just transitioned him beautifully. Maybe better than Ahsoka.
Well, and the other thing that's so genius about it too is we weren't attached to a voice actor with Jason.
Yeah, that's
Segula.
true.
So we weren't attached to that. So going into this, we know he's there.
Yes.
But now we're actually exploring the character without the baggage in
Right.
some ways. That sounds
Mhm.
weird, but like being attached to a totally different voice, like what's kind of I think happening with Ahsoka and some of the other characters.
Bilbo baggage.
Bilbo Baggage. We got the chat. Hunter Davis is back. What's up, Hunter Davis?
Hunter Davis is back. What's up, Hunter?
Oh, man.
I'm sitting in the Sith Lord chair, so I think we need to have a talk. I have no idea. I'm trying to act like Nick. What would Nick say?
What would Nick say? Probably something rude.
WWNS, he would say.
What would Nick say? I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
I
What
mean-
other pros?
pros
You got
everything,
some
says
fact
Hannah
checker?
Roll. Didn't engineer, says something, but fact checker, bring it.
Oh, just I think I might have said it last week that overall this is such fresh Star Wars stuff, and I hope it doesn't spoiler, but it blows things up in all of Star Wars. I know
Yeah,
you
it
said that
does.
earlier. So it's pretty exciting. Yeah, I think
It
you said
is.
the sky's the limit, or I don't remember, but
Oh, yeah.
anyway, it is definitely a lot more interesting now to want to keep watching and see what happens.
Right, and Dave Filoni, he's doing a good job bringing the mythical side of Star Wars back, which is a tricky thing to portray in Star Wars. Something that I feel like only really George Lucas was able to do until now with Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni, I feel like being his apprentice, has done a very good job bringing the mythical side of Star Wars. And that's what you need. That's what Star Wars needs. You have to get kind of weird with it every once in a while. I mean, when you think about Star Wars in some ways, it's weird. And there are moments that are weird in the show, but
Yeah.
it's fun and it's wistful, and it kind of takes you away from where we are here on
Yeah.
Hoth. Just in our everyday lives.
Right.
And that's what
Takes you to a galaxy far, far away.
Exactly. It's those
Yeah.
mythical things.
Well, and the engineer had a good point. Not just the episode, but what's great about the show is that it started out good and it's getting better as it goes, building properly to these epic moments. The consistency is key, and it's winning back Star Wars fans.
Very good point. Very
That's
good point.
Yeah.
maybe
Well
the best
said.
pro, that
That-
it is winning back Star Wars fans.
Yes, I do agree.
Are
It
you
is.
kidding me?
It's getting people back into it. It's still got Star Wars has a long ways to go before we're back to its full glory.
Right.
But even from the beginning, like
Yeah.
you're saying, like he's saying, I definitely was like not absolutely loving the first episode, but I knew I had to save judgment till the end of the series because knowing Dave Filoni and how he can change your mind. You know, obviously we in with Ahsoka starting off, we really did not like Ahsoka.
You're talking about
Yeah.
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars. She was
Yeah.
quite annoying.
Right.
You know,
It
but
was
then by
kinda
the
by
end, we're
design.
like, everybody loves Ahsoka. I mean, Ahsoka is so many people's favorite
Yeah.
character. And that's why it kind of hurts me to say sometimes that she's like the weakest link of the show so far.
But
It's more
that's-
the acting is not necessarily her character.
Right. But sometimes that's casting, you know? I feel like the Rosario Dawson thing happened because she really wanted it.
It was
and
Yeah.
then,
and
Yeah.
people crowd.
yeah, right. It was a little bit
Did that.
fan, like she got paid off by being passionate about it.
Mhm.
And Dave Filoni just was like, I can't believe somebody like that
And
caliber.
the age, in some ways, the name
Yeah.
recognition and the age, I think,
Mhm.
played a factor into it.
But if you were to cast from like ground zero, I think everybody else in this show so far is cast like very, very well.
Yeah. I mean,
Most everybody. I mean,
Hera is growing on me quite a bit.
Yes, she
I didn't
is.
absolutely love Hera in the beginning, but
Correct.
but she's definitely growing on me.
but that's
as
another
Hera.
one where there's a caveat. If there was a tie-in that got her kind of into the show, maybe.
Yes, definitely. And
Right.
it's
So these are the-
more who you know than what you know. in some
Correct. And
ways.
these are the two that were kind of like, we notice some things. However, I think Hera's doing a great job upstaging and then also bouncing well off of Jason
Yeah.
and being finally
Yes.
feeling like a general. Is that spoilery? Anyway, but
And
there's
a mom. I
and a
mean,
mom.
Balancing all of it
Yes.
pretty dang well.
it's a lot to take
Mhm.
care of across from that. And this particular episode had a couple of great scenes that I really liked of her. It made me like her more because I love Hera in Rebels. Hera was awesome.
Hera was. She was
the mom.
The mom for everybody.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I feel like she's not quite hitting as well. It's
Really?
good, but it's not great.
She's
Interesting.
good.
Are you saying the mom of everybody?
We can explain a little bit more in spoilers. But oh man, we got Hunter Davis back hot with the super chat. Here we go. He says, "Hope you're all well. Got to get back at it. Overtime hashtag overtime tax.
Oh no.
I'll be in the background. 10 out of 10 episode. Kathleen Kennedy is trash, just like meatloaf and Chinese food. All hail Dave Filoni. Dilly dilly. Okay.
Wow.
Hunter's got some hot takes. Man, thank you, Hunter. We do appreciate that. He's keeping the lights on for us here.
Thank you, Hunter.
Thank you very
That's
much.
quite a compliment and quite a overtime tax. and quite a statement, if I
Quite
may
a
say.
statement.
Meatloaf and Chinese food. Now we're
Wow.
getting into food on target. Don't be careful. We're transitioning.
Yeah, right.
That's solid. Thanks, Hunter.
Thanks, Hunter. And thanks for your rating on this one as well. And with that rating, I think we should probably get into rating this episode so we
Okay.
can get to some spoiler territory.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead and rate it. Out of 5 rebels.
See, I painted myself into a little rebel corner, didn't I?
You really did.
I gave it 5 out of 5 last week. Did I mess up?
I think you have to judge them, episode by
Independently.
episode. And if you happen to give multiple 5s out in the season, it's just that good.
I'm just throwing 5s. I'm just throwing 5s.
Just throw
This is
5s.
absolutely a 5.
5
This is
like
a-
from Clone Wars.
This is a 5s from Clone Wars. That good. I love 5s from Clone Wars
Yeah,
too.
it's amazing.
I've got to give it a 5. I'm going to actually give this one. I'm going to give this one a 5.5
Wow.
out of 5. So we're going triple 5s tonight,
Triple 5s tonight.
and that's where we're at. It's that good. And we may even get up to a 6 out of 5. I'm seeing 6s and 7s in the chat out of 5.
wow.
And I'm saying 5.5 out of 5 because the music hit, the acting was amazing, the story was unbelievable, the scenes we got, the CG was perfect, the everything, the pacing for me, was worked because I wanted as much of it as I could get. The plot development, all of that jazz, the surprises we got. Are you kidding me? 5.5.
5.5. All right. What about you, a fact checker?
Well, real fast, Dave Filoni jumped in the chat and
What's
said
up, Dave?
5.5, huh?
Yeah, Dave Filoni likes that.
Dave, you deserve a billion 5.5s.
Yeah. Hashtag Filoni worms
From Dan.
from Dan.
From Dan.
Faith and Filoni.
Faith and
Yeah.
Filoni worms.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're breaking the scale, I'd go over 5.
Yes.
But it was
It's over perfect for you guys.
it was good. It
Nick's
was,
so this was perfect?
yeah.
This is perfect?
I mean, you can nitpick
Maybe.
on even the most perfect things, but it was so there's so many good things.
Yeah.
And I can't wait till you guys talk about it.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll stick with 5 out of 5 just because I'm true to the scoring.
Good.
But
Dan's the only one
it's
allowed
very,
to break
very
the
good.
scoring.
Yes, exactly.
Why?
In the
I
chat.
don't know, because nobody understands me anyway. What I say. Did he say 4 out of 5 or 5 out of, I don't know.
Is this brain burnt?
Yes, it's definitely.
That's terrible.
Totally
joke.
burnt.
No.
All right, yeah, but for me, I'm gonna say 4.75. So it's next to
Ooh,
perfect.
4
for
and
me.
3/4.
I'm still reserving a little bit because I want to see how this finale ties everything up. I do feel like we're gonna have quite a bit in the finale, and I really want to see Thrawn. I feel like seeing Thrawn, and if he's portrayed very well,
Mhm.
that might be my 5 out of 5.
Okay, so you're saving the extra quarter for Thrawn.
I'm saving that quarter for Thrawn, baby. I'm
All
saving
right.
that quarter for Thrawn. So
So if you give it a 5, that's pretty good.
Imperial versus 4.75 Rebels. The Rebels win. Once a rebel, always a rebel. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's great. What about you, Vades? What do you rate this episode? Amazing.
I know
I
he's
don't know
kind
if you
of
guys could hear him. He's quite. I think for him, it's definitely a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's gotta be, yeah.
And we'll get to more of that in
well,
spoilers.
Dustin Witherall said, what did Dan say?
I can't understand him.
I
can't
She says, I nobody can.
It's like, because you're the adult that came to the kids' table.
Yeah.
So if this was Charlie Brown, you would just be
Wah wah wah
yeah,
wah
we
wah
wouldn't, we
wah.
wouldn't understand you at all.
Do you know how they
That's
made
how it
that
goes.
sound? It's a trombone
Please tell
with
me.
a plunger. Wah 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 wah. That's how you do it. I can make a plunger Charlie Brown sound.
You definitely could.
Nice.
I'm gonna
You
pull
might
out
have
my
to do it.
trombone on one
You
of these
should do it
shows.
live.
I'm gonna pull out my trombone
That's how
with the
you
wah.
should talk next week.
Wah, wah.
In
That would be
a lobster outfit.
With the lips in the background.
with the lips in the back.
It's in the background. It just writes itself, everybody.
Oh, man.
Maybe I can get some help animating this from the twins or something. That would be
That'd be hilarious.
absolutely amazing.
All right,
Yeah.
man.
Wow.
So what's everybody in the chat saying? We got everybody in the chat rating this episode out of 5.
Oh yeah, we've got let's see. Hannah said 6 out of 5 Rebels because I'm moderator prime and I can do that. Dustin with all said 5.
Nice.
KG said 4.40.
Nice.
So,
Hey,
yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
right there. Kind of
She's
with you,
liking it.
KG.
Yep. Ellie Blair said 7 out of 5.
Wow.
Tayhawk said my first 5. So she's been
Whoa.
holding back, but not now. She's going for it.
I know, and Hunter also did 10 out of 10. He's
well,
breaking
yeah.
the system too.
Night Sky 8 out of 5.
That's okay. You are the chat. You are allowed to break the
Yes,
system.
yes. Island Punch said 10 out of 5. Icy Stormy said 20 out of 5. I mean, we're just blowing it up.
Wow, we're just going way over the
Ellie,
wow.
Yeah, Ellie, I can't count that many zeros. So it's so many millions
it's-
or billions or trillions.
It's
out
off
of
the
5.
charts.
Yeah, basically.
Off the charts, baby.
And then Pork Chop 4.9.
4.9.
So, yeah, very high ratings.
Man, yeah. So pretty positive. I think everybody is loving this episode so far. I think if we can say
Yeah.
that anything, we can definitely say that not very many negatives when it comes to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kirsten said 100 out of 5.
Yeah. Bree
Oh,
Mew
man.
4.8.
Icy Stormy is just topping everybody. 1 quadrillion.
Yeah.
To Merkins 4.5.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I like that. Man, I like that you guys
Well
are liking this
deserved.
episode. And I want to hear all your thoughts whenever we get to
Spoilers.
spoiler section, which we're going to be jumping into here real quick. But right before we do, I need to know, we have a food on target.
Oh,
I was ready with the other.
that reminded me of something on this episode with food, but I lost it. I lost the perfect transition, but I will find it again.
You are. It's food on target, baby. And I have a question for everybody out there. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, or white chocolate? Which is your favorite? Which do you prefer? Which do you go for? And in what circumstance? I want to know from everybody. Answer me that. Riddle me this.
This is such an easy answer
Is
for
it?
me.
Yeah. What would you go with, Dan?
Easily dark chocolate.
Really?
100%.
You're a
Look,
dark chocolate kind of guy. I
I'm
can
sitting
see
in
that.
Nick's chair. It's the Sith Lord, and it's dark chocolate all the way. I can't even stomach milk chocolate anymore. Get that milk out of there.
Are you serious?
Give me 98% cacao.
Oh, wow.
I want the dark. I want the bitter. I want it to like almost
You
taste
want
like
it to bite back.
I want it to bite back. I want my chocolate. If my chocolate isn't
If it's not biting,
biting
you as it goes
back,
down.
that's right.
No.
It should be fighting me. It's the entire way.
Did
Let's
you see
go.
Ellie Blair? Dan
No.
is no longer the man. Uh-oh.
Oh no! Wow,
I'm just saying.
This is the hill they died.
These are the things that you know, as you grow and learn, the dark chocolate is where it is.
Actually, there is an interesting study that was taking place that they said
I don't believe him.
dark chocolate. If you have like a certain kind of dark chocolate that you make into a hot chocolate drink.
Yeah.
They did a study where they like studied certain people that drank it every day and certain people that didn't. But it like boosted their I forget
Like
what it was.
mental capacity?
No. It wasn't
Oh.
even mental. It was like their stem cells in
Oh,
their
wow.
bodies, and it
Yeah.
like gave them like better cognition, which would kind of
Yeah.
be like that. But it was like a bunch of different things. It helped with a lot of different things, which is kind of crazy. So, but it
Mhm.
was
It
it
just-
did have to be that dark like 98, 99
Yeah.
or 97%.
Yeah.
Cacao or something like
because it loses. You don't need the sugar, or it doesn't have the sugar content to like destroy you, because the sugar is sometimes evil, but the cacao keeps you moving.
The cacao keeps you moving.
Oh dear.
You did
You
that.
said it, though.
You did that. I said it.
You did it.
Does that even have a touch screen?
All right,
Yeah.
fact checker.
I love
What,
it.
what are you going with? Do you even want to answer this question?
Yeah, because I guess I'm similar to Dan. I would go dark chocolate,
Wow.
then milk chocolate, but honestly, I like all three. So maybe I'm also Switzerland.
You're
Yes.
Switzerland.
But
what
I-
kind of
Oh, that
chocolate
reminds
does
me.
Switzerland make?
Every
All of
kind.
it.
Swiss make
They're
good
probably the
chocolate?
best makers of chocolate.
Probably.
That's
Probably.
why I love Switzerland. I just love it. So don't get me started on chocolate. And don't they have the noodles too? Isn't there something else they sell? The Switzerland.
You're thinking like Berea?
Yeah.
Is that Swiss? I think that's Italian.
Okay, fine.
We're going all over the globe tonight. on
We love
Food on
that Swiss
Target.
chocolate. Dustin likes that Swiss Army knife.
I like the Swiss Army knife. They make pretty good watches
Oh.
too.
Yeah, a Swiss. What is the timing?
Timepiece. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Timepiece,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, what fact
Nope,
checker?
No.
What does everybody say? I guess for me though, I guess I didn't answer. I should answer. You know, I like milk chocolate. Actually.
Oh, get out of here! What is this?
I don't know. I just
To each
wrong
their own.
answers.
To
I
each
can
their own.
appreciate. I appreciate dark chocolate for its healthier aspects,
Mhm.
and I like it. But I'm just tried and true classic milk chocolate kind of guy. You know.
Yeah, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to like the pretzels, white chocolate covered pretzels is still pretty good.
Those are the
Mhm.
best.
I still prefer milk chocolate covered pretzels.
Yeah.
But milk chocolate's the way to go, baby. Milk chocolate for me.
I'm more of a moth to fine dining. So like you can't have I could have like gallons of milk chocolate, right?
Yeah.
And then but like dark chocolate, it's like a special
it's like
occasion.
a chef's kiss.
Yeah,
It's like
chef's
a
kiss.
fancy restaurant.
But like if I'm gonna have it with peanut butter, like
Mhm.
Reese's, like I don't want a dark chocolate
No, that would
Reese's.
be weird.
They make them, but it's
Yeah.
not the same. Like if you want to blend chocolate with something, you got to have milk chocolate.
Yeah.
You make like Reese's or any kind of chocolate covered thing, mostly.
Yeah,
but if
because
it's
can you imagine a dark chocolate
Yeah.
Reese's? Like,
but like
I
when
feel
you
like I'd
get
be cheated. Like,
chocolate chips, those are dark chocolate.
well,
they're
you can get them
semi-sweet.
in all.
Don't tell me.
Oh.
Mostly.
What's
Wow.
everybody in the chat saying?
I don't
want to
know.
hear from everybody in the
Oh,
chat.
I think they're all over the place. Well, V
Who?
says dark chocolate is for older people.
Oh man.
You're looking at them.
You're looking at him. Oh, snap.
Let's see. Breamy, I'd have to be in a particular mood for chocolate and used to straight up not like it. So it's not for everyone. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
okay.
that's okay too. That's okay.
Dozen Witherell said dark chocolate for sure. Ellie
Dark chocolate
also
covered
said
almonds,
milk
yeah.
chocolate is the goat.
Milk
Night-
chocolate. Yeah.
Night Sky dark chocolate is also incredibly similar to the serotonin chemical in your brain.
Oh wow. Didn't know that.
Hannah doesn't really like chocolate. She likes blueberries instead, so she probably liked the blue raspberry jello.
The blue raspberry
kidding.
jello from last night. Yes.
Yeah.
Tayhawk first picked dark chocolate, but I don't discriminate against any of them. So,
Yeah, Dan.
I don't discriminate. I just know what's better.
well, and then I think
You are Nick.
You set me up for it.
Wow.
I'm
It's
just
okay.
kidding.
You can be wrong.
They-
That's what you said.
Just like great music. No, I can't say that. Certain things in life are subjective, and chocolate taste and preference is definitely subjective.
yes, for sure.
I cannot objectively say that dark chocolate is by far the best. I can only subjectively say that it is
Right.
by far the best, and everybody else is wrong.
And he's still swinging
Nick,
out the gate.
I'm like Nick.
He's Nick.
Yeah, and Zaramoto said milk or dark, don't like white chocolate. So.
Yeah, did we have anybody say white chocolate? That was actually the true question.
That was the trick question.
That was the true test. I wanted to see who we had to kick out.
There you go.
No, I'm just joking.
Oh my goodness.
I'm totally
And
joking. Totally.
Thanks,
joking.
Zahimoto, for jumping in, by the way,
Yeah,
and V
thanks for
Stuff, and thanks
jumping.
joining in
What's up,
later. Yeah.
V?
It's been a good stream so far, and we're about to jump into the real hotness right now.
The real hotness. I thought you had more to say. Fact checker.
It's fact check.
Oh yeah. Did anybody say white chocolate? I'm just wondering.
Not directly, I don't think.
I think V Stuff said I say white chocolate because I want everybody to hate me.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
no.
true.
Said that,
That's
ear-
true.
said that
Yeah.
earlier,
We don't
but I
hate
think
V.
V was kidding.
In certain circumstances, white chocolate is okay, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And if you like white chocolate, though, that is totally fine.
I mean,
okay? To each their own.
I mean, if
Yeah.
San-teva, aka Santa Claus, brings you a Christmas treat at Christmas time
San-teva.
and it's white chocolate, you're gonna eat it.
Mhm.
I mean, at Christmas time, you're gonna eat whatever cookies or
I mean, if
thingies are
Carson
there.
Teva, Santa Claus brings it to me. Heck yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Because that guy is a
Santa-teva.
jolly fella.
He knows Mandal.
And if he knows how
Mandal-
to fly an X-Wing, I want to learn how to do that.
and he knows everybody. Like he really excelled, like up the ranks.
He did.
Like he's communicating with Mando. He's communicating with Hera. He's communicating with people that are important
He really-
that we are about to spoil.
Yeah, I was like, I thought you were just about to spoil it.
But V said she does actually like white
Okay,
chocolate.
good.
She wasn't joking.
She's
So-
sticking to her
Alright,
guns.
alright,
I like it. I
alright.
like that about you, V.
Yep. And-
You're not afraid to be different.
Tamerkin says I had a white chocolate Kit Kat yesterday and it was just as bad as it sounds.
Oh,
That
there
did
we go.
surprise me once.
And white chocolate belongs in the trash along with meatloaf or on pretzels / macadamia cookies.
Oh man,
Says Hunter Davis.
throwing that out.
He says
there.
along with meatloaf or on pretzels / macadamia cookies. So you're saying like that those are terrible options? Is that what it is?
He is the Sith apprentice.
Yeah.
He is the Sith apprentice.
Yeah. Bremu says they make super good white chocolate cookies. White chocolate and peppermint Hershey's Kisses for the holidays. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Let's get the
that's
peppermint.
good.
That's what I'm
See, in
talking about.
Certain circumstances,
Ate
it's
a,
good.
ate a whole bag a couple years ago. I can't even stand the thought. Oh, okay. But at Christmas
went
time,
south.
you're not thinking clearly because Carson Teva's there. You know, ho ho ho.
San-teva is how to say hot.
San-teva. Okay.
San-teva.
Hashtag
Teha.
San-teva.
Hashtags. Whatever.
That's the
Hashtag.
shirt for the holidays. San-teva.
All right,
there. It's
bring
gonna be
it. I
Carson
wanna- I
Teva
wanna see it.
with a hat on. With
All
a
right.
I want it now. I want
He's
that
in
shirt.
his X-wing, but there's reindeer pulling it.
Oh, that's. I want to get some good old Teva merch. We got to get some Teva like
We gotta
action
have some
figures.
Teva
It's probably
merch.
exists, right?
Oh yeah, I think so.
And we'll put a little Santa hat on them.
That's amazing. All right, let's get into the meat of this, the
gotta.
meatloaf of this episode. No, I'm just
Ew.
joking. Let's get into the chocolate of this episode. Let's get into. All right, we're gonna spoil the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everybody dies.
Yes.
Right, Darth Vader.
Right, Dothy Doth.
Right,
is-
Anakin.
Right, Anakin. This was
Ah,
your
yeah.
episode to shine. Vader shows up, and the way they do it, I thought was absolutely brilliant. Actually, I loved the sound design with those flashes of Vader and the timing of it. Chef's kiss
Oh my goodness.
for
The-
sure, man.
the-
Oh my
You're
goodness.
talking about how he like flashed up, or the timing of
Yeah,
the,
like whenever he was walking away,
Yeah.
and she's looking at him, and then in the smoke, and they're like, poof, and it like
Yes.
flashes, and she's just like, oh snap, that was amazing.
Oh my! Because we were all waiting. We're like, what's gonna happen?
know.
Right at the beginning, like they're on that ledge or that
Yeah.
whatever War Between Worlds
Path.
path, and you're like, okay,
Right
is he
over it.
bad? We were talking about it the night before, with Bismo. We're like, is he bad?
yeah,
He's got the Anakin, the hand's gone. He's basically like we figured out the last time that she saw him.
Yeah, that's what we were speculating last night. Was basically like, I still think it was in her mind, but she tapped into that realm kind of in her mind, so she was kind of in between. I don't think she was. I mean, which is the world between worlds, but it was also like she was still obviously in the water. I think that whole time, but being kept alive through the Force and going through this Force
Yeah.
journey. That's
Mhm.
my personal take. I don't think we're ever going to actually get the answer to that.
I don't
But,
know.
uh,
Did you
I don't
see
know.
Hannah's thought.
Uh,
Like,
Hannah said, I like the way they use World Between Worlds as not some silly time travel multiverse crutch.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do think they handled it quite well. And it was almost, I almost feel like it was a World Between Worlds that they didn't step into. So we didn't fully experience the World Between Worlds. It was more like the Dagobah, Darkside Dagobah thing. Cause that's more of what I equate it to. Because that's
Mhm.
kind of what Luke went through.
Yeah,
And this is Ahsoka's going through that.
correct.
And it was almost, in some ways, it was like she was being baptized. It was very interesting. She was in the water.
Mhm.
She goes, and it's definitely the Gandalf the Gray to Gandalf the White. It's totally Ahsoka the Gray going into Ahsoka the White.
Yep.
Plus, we speculated that Anakin was going to be her Force ghost, not really a Force ghost, but like the ghost of Christmas past, basically taking her through like everything she's experienced and
Yes.
trying to teach her along the way, and her having to make the choice, because that's what it comes down to. And that's even what Luke had to go through on Dagobah. And I like the parallels there, and just seeing Anakin back. Oh my goodness, seeing Hayden Christensen back as Anakin, he looked great. I know Nick didn't agree with it in the last episode, but I feel like they upped it times 10 in this one.
They
and I
they
thought
dropped
was
it. Yeah,
really well done.
Seemed like they were winning Nick over too.
Yeah.
they did. They won Nick
Yeah.
over right out of the first. We'll have to get him to speak for himself. But as sitting in his chair,
You can speak for him.
when we were watching it together, he didn't continue the ripping apart of Anakin.
No,
Instantly
he was enjoying it.
was verisimilitude. We believe that Anakin was in that time period, and he was who he was, and he was supposed to be Anakin of that Clone Wars era. And then the flashbacks just continued. As they battle. She's like, I don't want to fight you. And then he's like, and then she's like, well, I guess you haven't taught me. I guess there's nothing else you could teach me, right?
Right.
But then she actually makes a comment that you look young or something like that. And he's like, well, you look old.
Or didn't she said something like, you look the same.
Oh, the same.
Because that's
right.
the last time that she saw him,
right.
like you said.
And then he's like, well, you look old. And she's like, well, that happens.
It's almost, but it felt more like, the funny thing though, is it felt more like the relationship between the two of them in the Clone Wars, which I really liked in this because Hayden Christensen never really got to be or act that way. I felt like he had more depth with this version of Anakin than he got in the prequels in some ways. I mean, people rip him apart. I still think he played that very well for what he was given and how he was supposed to act leading to Darth Vader. I just thought that the Clone Wars series was the version of Anakin that was a good friend that Obi-Wan talks about in A New Hope. And I really like that. This Anakin in the Clone Wars is somebody that you root for, that you cheer for, that you want to be friends with. He's such a good guy. And it's harder for you to see him turn to the dark side versus the prequel movies. I just didn't feel like we got enough of that. You got some, but not all of it to really feel that full weight. But in this, we got the Clone Wars, Hayden Christensen, Anakin.
He was
throwing
so good.
out jokes.
Yes.
But also being deadly serious at the same time.
Yeah.
Pulling like his fighting, he sold that first action sequence. He sold that amazingly.
Yes.
And then the young. I mean, I'm jumping into so much here. Sorry, so cut me off if you want.
No. Everybody's just go for it.
But and then so starting off with that amazing fight. You live or die, which actually, which was great. I like how they started. That's why I still think she was in the water, and that she's the Force was kind of keeping her alive. It was still up to her. It was live. She had to choose to live to actually come back.
Yeah.
Because if she wouldn't have chose, I think she would have
stayed there.
She would have stayed in the water and died completely.
Yeah.
And
so there were real stakes.
There were real stakes.
Oh,
but then the other thing was, whenever she fights him on what's the planet in
Ryloth?
Rebels?
No.
That she fights Vader in Rebels. What's the Tython? Or, is it Tython? I forget.
Yeah. It was
Tython.
Yep.
Anyway, whenever she's about to die, and then he pulls her out, Ezra pulls her out. But in that scene, she says, "I won't fight you."
Right.
She says that to Vader, and then he says, "Then you die."
Then you die.
So it's the same line, even from that, which was an interesting parallel.
Yeah.
Or Malachor. Was it Malachor?
Malachor. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, Icy.
Was it Malachor?
And Brimu.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was great. The dialogue was on point for that whole sequence. I was so just enraptured by the World Between Worlds, like that whole sequence. I just wanted more and more and more of it, and even the transition going from older Ahsoka to young Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And I have to say, young Ahsoka blew older Ahsoka out of the water.
All right, but let's get to the elephant in the room, the white elephant in the room. Because Zarhimoto said, by the way, I know y'all have been hating on Ahsoka acting, but I really enjoyed the switch after World Between Worlds. I appreciated her joy. Felt more like lighthearted Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So I think what was happening is that Filoni told her to be more wooden, more depressed, more stern,
more unlikable in some ways.
Unlikable, even.
Yeah.
Like, why is everybody outshining her?
He's pulling the same trope he did.
Right. And so when we got young Ahsoka, who, by the way, was an incredible actress and mover, if that was the actual stunt girl, whoever was her stunt person,
did an amazing job.
Amazing. There was like actual snips. Rebels and I mean Clone Wars like fight moves.
Yeah.
Like, on her knees, sliding across,
The part that blew me away was whenever the Siege of Mandalore.
See, that's what I mean.
That was amazing.
Because like you kind of got the preamble and
I was not expecting
while they're
that.
running and blocking, but then all of a sudden you leveled up.
She starts just wrecking shop with Mandalorians.
Oh, so good.
Oh, I was kind of like shocked, and so this little girl was like stabbing people through and just cutting them. I was like, oh snap!
But
I had one gripe with that though.
Yeah, but appreciated the joy and lightheartedness after becoming Ahsoka the White.
Yes, that's a very good point.
It
Yeah, and I
felt
definitely wanted
like
to
for
get
the
there.
first time, she had, but in the meantime, we didn't see that yet. We saw the young Ahsoka, and young Ahsoka was amazing.
Young Ahsoka was absolutely amazing. She acted so well
Mm-hmm.
for the fact that it was older Ahsoka in young Ahsoka's body.
Yeah.
So that was what was interesting about it, because she was still being like introspective and thinking things through, but she had to act young, but also with the wisdom of like her older age. So that's why I thought it was really interesting how she played it. She played it well. She played it perfectly.
Yeah.
I think she
Very
did it
mature, young
amazing.
actress,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Well,
and the conversation between her and Anakin
That's what I was gonna say, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
Back
no,
to her.
no. Sorry. Just that Anakin did really well balancing who he was acting
Yeah.
with in those different scenes. And then, running into battle too. And then the fades the
Yes.
flashes of Vader. I mean, it was all so epic.
Because it's like you said, it's not really in her mind, but
Yeah.
in a way it is, but it's not. It's her there
Well, it is for the fact that like,
because
especially
Right.
the siege of Mandalore. That's what really
Anakin
sold it,
wasn't there.
because he wasn't there. So
Right.
that's why it really sold me that this is in her mind.
That makes sense.
This is why you are 100% right, and we are 100% right with San-teva being Santa Claus. This is Ebenezer Scrooge,
Yes,
A Christmas Carol,
a Christmas Carol. Yeah, 100%.
and
One
he is the ghost of Christmas whatever past.
What's the jolly one?
He was the jolly
Or
one.
present.
Well, past.
He's
past-
the ghost of Christmas present. I
present.
think. What's
Present.
the jolly one?
The
Okay.
jolly one.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, future's a
Yeah.
scary one.
Yes.
We didn't see that, thank goodness.
Yeah, future's a scary one.
But past is the funny one, right? Or present's the funny one.
I thought,
Anyway,
I don't remember.
there's parallels there though because that's what they were doing.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. in
Yeah,
a lot
and
of
kind of
ways.
they're showing up in different times and places as he's teaching her. He's like, "Well, you haven't learned enough yet," and that's when he Bremu had a funny comment about, "You think?" She's like, "Well, I've learned everything you could teach me," and then meanwhile, Anakin pushes on this circle, this like different circle shape, and goes smash and drops you down.
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
I
taught
gotcha.
you everything, Snips.
yeah, and so he, and then they keep progressing. But like seeing live action Clone Wars, the way that they did the visuals,
Oh,
because it
yeah.
might have been still on the volume, but
Right.
it felt big because that's what a war would feel like. When you watch, I watch war films, and when you watch war films, you see a zoomed out version on a movie, but when you're on the ground, there's smoke and there's chaos and noise.
Yes.
And you don't see everything that you need to see. You can't see. You're just running into a hail of bullets.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like. It was
did.
insanely cool to see that in the Star Wars universe. And then, of course, in the Siege of Mandalore, just leveled it up.
That was crazy.
I was like, oh, I could get a whole movie of that.
That was the thing. Watching that whole sequence made me want to see a live action Clone Wars more than ever. I still think they could do a live action Clone Wars, and it would probably blow away anything else Disney Star Wars has done, because just looking at that sequence with the whole war aspect and
Yeah.
I was like, dang, that is amazing. It looks so cool, and I want to see more. And the only thing though is I did want to see them, like physics wise, in some ways, portray some of their powers that they had in Clones. Like I almost wanted to see like Ahsoka and Anakin like super jump. Like,
Yeah,
for some
yeah.
reason, like straight into battle
Full,
or
yeah.
something like that, like full, like because that's what they do in the Clone
Yes,
Wars.
there's
They're,
all
like,
kinds of
super jumping all
crazy-
over around. They're doing all these crazy moves, which
Yeah.
then they got to that with the Siege of Mandalore. Then it felt okay. Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was amazing. But the standout still for me was Hayden Christensen. Man, what a depth
He
of
stole
acting
it.
he did. He
But
did.
redemption for him.
Redemption. Yeah.
Very
It's so cool. He's having like his Renaissance.
Mhm.
Renaissance, is that the right word for that?
There's probably a pun in there, but
Reemergence,
Yeah, it's not Renaissance, is it?
the
Renaissance is
anaconnaissance, right?
reawakening.
Yeah. Anyway, he's
Yeah.
he's come back in some ways.
And
That's
it's
what I'm trying to get at.
much loved, which is why this particular one deserved to be in the movie theater. Because I'm like, well, who else are going to bring out that they're like, we're going to put this in the movies?
Right.
Because it's like a sequel to the original, the prequels almost.
Yeah.
But it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was just so cool.
It's crazy.
And the way they did, I love the fact that we got to see his Clone Wars armor
Yeah.
outfit and everything during this was amazing.
Hunter
It
just
looked
sathe
so
same
cool.
thing.
Mhm.
As soon as we
love
saw the
that.
Phase 1 armor, we were cooking.
Oh
Yeah,
yes, definitely.
Icy agrees. He was peak perfection.
He was. The way he handled it too, because like I said, he never got to act that way in the prequels. And Matt oh shoot, I forget his name. The guy who does
Matt Lanter.
Matt Lanter.
I don't know why I remember
portrays Anakin in Clone Wars as the voice actor.
Yep.
And he has a likable voice, but a lot different, but still similar. They are so much more like joking around. But I thought Hayden Christensen did a great job. That one joke he says, whether or not, what makes you want a apprentice anyway? Do you want
And
one?
she's like, "What? You can't. How could you make a joke at a time like this?"
And he's like, "I'm joking." You know, it was fun to see that. And then he was, and then even in the beginning, she's like, "This is the Clone Wars," and he's like, "Yeah, no kidding."
Yes.
Like I was like, "Yes, we get to see another side to Hayden Christensen's Anakin finally."
Yeah.
I mean, it was perfect. This is why you can win Star Wars fans back, because you're bringing in a beloved character that at the time was not critically loved for some of the acting.
Yeah.
However, the way that it was portrayed, and of course, Revenge of the Sith was just phenomenal.
Amazing,
There's
yeah.
some moments in
Oh,
there
yeah.
that are just, but this like peak. But it's like, how do they do that? How do they take him now, 20 years later, basically, and put him back in, and he's perfect. Like
Yeah.
this is the kinds of things that you dream about in Star Wars. How would we write that story where we could bring Anakin back and talk with Ahsoka and have a whole, Christmas Carol moment? I
Right.
don't know. I mean,
And
nobody
fight
would
between the two of them in multiple different
in different locations, and then
locations.
seeing them fighting together, and then of
learning
course,
along the way. Because I mean, really,
you got the Rex. I mean, and seeing the clones.
Rex, I wanted to see actual face, like Tamora Morrison's.
that would've
I
been
knew
cool.
why. I know why. That obviously
Yeah.
Tamora Morrison's a little bit older now, but they could have de-aged him.
Might as well.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. But,
but
it was
not
so
for Nick.
cool.
It wouldn't have been awesome. But
Yeah,
For the
not
rest
Nick.
of us.
But it still,
Yeah.
it still was awesome to see, or even to hear his voice as Rex in there. Do you think we'll get Rex in this series still at some point? I don't know if we will, but it would be really cool to see old man Rex again.
I doubt it.
Oh,
There's
it'd be
just
so
3
cool.
episodes left. It's going so fast.
I know.
Yeah.
But he could show up at the end if they're like showing up to fight Thrawn, like when Thrawn returns
Yeah.
or something like
unless
that.
they're going
Like
to save that for the movie.
well,
them
we
fully
know
building the
what do we
army.
know about Rex? He survived the Return of the Jedi.
yeah, because he was in the fight.
And that's the
on
last we
Endor.
physically saw him.
Yeah.
He's not been in Mandalorian. He's not been in Book of Boba Fett. Was before that. No, but Book of Boba Fett was after.
No, same, but he's a different. Yeah, that's a totally different character.
No,
yeah,
but we never
I know
saw
what you're
Rex.
saying.
So
Yeah.
okay, so then I mean the fact that we got him, even though it was back in that time, the fact that if we could see him, aged up, that would be amazing.
It would be so cool.
Because again, this is
he
the
should be
sequels.
like a general at this point.
It's the sequels to Revenge of the Sith, but it's the sequels to all of the Clone Wars and Rebels and all of that we got in the meantime. And Clone Wars is what made people fall in love with Anakin, and of course Ahsoka,
Yeah.
but Anakin as
it
a
added so much more depth.
Yeah.
Those characters, Clone Wars.
between him and Padme, it gave us a lot more. It gave us a lot more of all of it because it was so great. So
I always argued that Clone Wars Anakin was actually a better version of, like I said, the friend version of that Obi-Wan talks about.
Yeah.
'Cause
yes,
the movies, you're like, you
He's
could
so
see it in some
moody.
ways, but it was more master apprentice. Like Obi-Wan was more disapproving. Now in Clone Wars, Star Wars Clone Wars with Obi-Wan and Anakin, it was definitely more friends. You could definitely tell they cared about each other and they were having fun together in a lot of ways. There was so much there. In episode 3, there was more friendship, but not quite the same level as Clone Wars. Not as much time to develop that either, because there was so much they had to get through.
but the fact that they hinted it, means that we could bring it in. Hunter said earlier the fact that we got hinted Kanan.
Yep.
Yes, there was a
Well,
lot of name
full-
drops in this.
And that one
That
piece of
Huge.
dialogue, huge.
It was huge.
But they're saying Rex could be with the fleet. He might be like 80 years old, but we do know he survived Revenge of the Sith or Revenge of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi.
Return of the
Whatever it was he survived it.
He did. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Someone was also saying it would have been cool if Bo-Katan was one of the Mandalorians.
Oh,
I mean,
that
would have actually been very
Just
cool.
in the background.
In the fight of Mandalore.
that would
Because
have
they
actually,
said
because she was there.
confirmed.
She was there with her.
Yeah, but
That would have
You
been
never
really
know.
cool. Like her and Rex were like right
Yeah.
there.
Like I
Like,
kind
took
of
off.
wanted, like Nick said, we were going to get a whole episode of World Between Worlds, I think. And we
Yeah, we
basically
almost wanted
kind
more.
of did. But that's what I mean.
I
I
know.
almost was kind of sad when she bubbled up to the surface. I was like, does that mean we're not going to get any more?
I know.
Like, I want more what ifs,
But-
but
Yeah.
maybe we will.
Speaking of Anakin, though, I feel like, or I really hope that they're going to do a Force Ghost Anakin.
Oh, okay.
At some point, I really hope they bring in a Force ghost
Well,
Anakin to talk to Ahsoka. Now that she's kind of redeemed herself and that she's more Ahsoka the White, I wonder if he's not going to be more present, like if he won't show up.
Well, and with all the energy in the Purgle galaxy transition,
Right.
could there be some special craziness that happens there? I
There
don't know.
definitely could be.
This is uncharted stuff.
Waters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
But speaking of Kanan,
yes, we do
Mhm.
need to talk about that.
Jason, and then there was that callback when Hu Yang said
Mhm.
they never listen.
Oh man, Breamy was talking about that, and yes, that.
But
was
that all of that
amazing.
dialogue, they're bouncing back and forth between her and the world between worlds. Jason hears it, but there's the dialogue, and then all of the Kanan and
Yeah.
Well,
other
even
name
before
drops.
we got to the world between worlds,
Right.
Hera was looking around, not sure if there were still bad guys
Right.
there and everything, and just like a kid, can I come out now, Mom?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Jason pulled it off perfectly.
Yes,
I
he
love
did.
that he's wearing Kanan's pauldron on his right shoulder.
So powerful.
So good. They finally name drop Kanan, but even before, so Hera finds Hu Yang, and he's just holding Sabine's helmet and looking over the edge, and he's like, "They never listen." That was touching. I mean, man, he sells it so well
For a
He does.
droid.
For a droid,
That's
man,
so
he
many
has some of the
emotions.
most emotion than anybody.
Mhm.
He is. Oh man, I just love him as an actor for one thing, but Hu Yang in this, and then Hu Yang brings out the part that made me laugh the most again was whenever she was trying to get her after Ahsoka came out of the water to kind of get Jason out of the way so she could ask Ahsoka. It's like, you've never been on a Jedi starship, and he's like, oh, he's like, so he's like, do you train Jedi or something, or can you train me? And then he's like, Hu Yang's like, no.
Yes.
And he's like, do you know how to make a lightsaber? He's like, yes. He's like, will you teach me how to make a lightsaber? No.
It's so
The
dry.
comedy there,
It was-
everything was just
Mhm.
perfect.
It was the best of both worlds. He brought the everybody in the chat saying they were crying when they saw sad
Yeah.
Hu Yang.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And,
he could cry.
Which
Like,
is amazing
Yes.
for a droid to
Yeah.
elicit that kind of emotions. That is good writing.
and his expressive
Mhm.
eyes. Like, he actually has really expressive
Yes.
eyes for a
Mhm.
droid, which is hilarious, but awesome to me.
Again, but you don't get all of that without the music bringing
Yes.
you in.
Oh, yeah.
The
scenery.
cinematography bringing you around the corner because
And that
she's got the
shot,
blaster and she's like, "Who's there?" And then all of a sudden it's just sad Hu Yang.
Kenobi.
Yeah, and it just changes, and then you see sad Hu Yang, and now you're reminded, oh yeah, that's right, Sabine's gone and
Yeah.
Ahsoka's gone, and
Mhm.
for all they know, she's dead or they're
Right.
both gone and dead or who knows what variation.
Well, and that's the thing. And then they were just searching all over the
so
But you guys called that her armor was left behind in the woods. So
Yeah.
yeah, of course they're going to assume the worst.
Right. Yeah. You just don't know. And that's why they're
Mhm.
doing a search pattern everywhere.
But it
for
was
her.
awesome that Jason was confirmed as Kanan's son.
yes,
Yeah, they name dropped
Then
Kanan. Was
he
so
had
good.
so many special moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was epic.
He-
Because even the previous episode, he said, I have a bad feeling, which you
Mhm.
missed the line, but we'll forgive him. They're trying to be slightly different. It's, I have a bad feeling about this. Get it right, kid.
but then he follows it up with
He's in training.
I know. He's
I
trying.
f- but then he followed it up with "I feel something, Mom," or whatever he said in
Yeah.
this one when he heard. He's like, "You hear
Yeah.
that?" And he's like,
that?
"He's like, I can feel something.
Yeah.
But
No,
I can't remember this
hear. I thought he
exact
said
line.
Hear.
I can feel something here."
No, I don't know if he said feel. I thought he said hear or something.
Probably said both.
No, he said
both?
feel.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
He said, "Don't you feel that?" I think he said
Well,
feel.
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Quote me.
It's not. Yeah. But, and then that brings up another question, though. Even before we get into that, though. They name dropped Kanan, which was amazing. They weren't afraid to drop that. Apparently, only Dave Filoni can name drop that.
Yeah.
And then they name dropped Senator Organa,
Mhm.
which technically would be Leia. So Leia Organa.
That's right.
They finally name dropped
Mhm.
someone from the
Mhm.
original trilogy, which I was wondering if they were even going to do that.
Yes.
Mhm.
But I'm kind of glad they did finally, and that
Yeah.
gives me a little bit more hope for Heir to the Empire, the movie, because they really need to be faithful to those books. You hear me, Filoni?
He was in the chat. I'm sure he's
Look,
listening.
Filoni worms are going to be the least of your problems.
Oh, gosh.
You are not faithful to the book series. I'm just saying. No, but I love that they name dropped her, and then they also name dropped Kanan. It was such a powerful moment. It's so cool to hear more about Kanan. And in some ways, I still wouldn't it have been crazy if Kanan was Marok? I know I'm being a dead horse at this point, but it would have had so much more weight to it now that we have Jason here.
But you wouldn't wanna
actually
see
see his
him-
dad. Are we gonna have something happen later where Jason's gonna meet his dad in the Force, like Kanan in the Force is gonna train
Everyone
him
would be bawling.
or something? I mean, can
at
you imagine the
that.
If that
emotional weight
happens,
there?
because of the way they
And
set
Hera?
up Jason and Hera, everybody's gonna be
Ooh.
bawling their eyes out. I mean, it's gonna be like, are you kidding me? And Hu Yang will be there crying. He's like, because of the lightsaber. I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, that would be. These are the things that we could get now because Dave Filoni cracked the code. He cracked the code of how to bring characters back and live action and take care of them.
Yes.
So that we don't be like, why did they do that fan service like other shows? Why did they give us a horrible fight that was not necessary? Why did they create this storyline that doesn't make sense?
Why can't some bounty hunter people chase down a child in the woods?
Right. Why is little Leia getting away from
for like 8 chase scenes?
Why is like
5-year-old?
she in the sweatshirt, like
Oh yeah, even she called that out, which was hilarious.
yeah. So we don't get that. We've got a kid actor who is amazing.
2 kid actors. in
Two
this
kid
one
actors
did
that are amazing.
absolutely fantastic.
Not like Book of Boba Fett.
No, they steal the show
Yeah.
and they don't.
Yeah.
They're not. Nobody. Here's the other thing about the show. Nobody in this show is putting down another character, sacrificing the
That's true.
quality of our main character to lift themselves up.
Yeah,
In all of the shows we complain about, they're beating up the
They are, pretty
protagonist
much, yeah.
Mhm.
to,
Well, that's because all the main characters, for the most part, are female. So
I guess. But I'm just saying, like they have to, in order for these other shows, they're always conflicted, right? Like we felt like, yeah, maybe Bo was beating up on Mando a little bit, or Mando had to look bad in order for Bo to look good. Like you had to downplay the protagonist, our hero, in order to make somebody else look good. I'm saying in this show, everybody is
It's
being
being
elevated
elevated. Yeah.
equally, even down to Jason, down to Hu Yang,
right.
Carson Teva. you
Yeah.
know,
Santa.
Anakin shows up and he
San-teva.
just fits right in. And what did I say?
Mhm.
San-teva.
San-teva.
San-teva fits in. I have a question though.
Yeah.
Do you think, because we were talking about a list before, do you think Hera actually heard the fighting? And does that mean she has a little bit of the Force? Or did she just believe her son? She just knew that her son was hearing that and could sense that because of Kanan. That he definitely has the Force. We all know that at this point.
But now she knows that
But-
he has the Force, right?
Yeah,
Now
I
she
think that was more of an eye opener for her. Which camp do you guys fall into? 'Cause
From-
I don't know. It's a silly small debate.
for me, from
but-
a sound design perspective, she heard it.
Okay.
I want her to hear it, so that's just what I'm going to answer.
Okay. I think it was more just a
Mhm.
belief in her son, and also
Okay.
her
Mhm.
looking on him like Kanan, like she's seeing more Kanan in
Sure.
him,
Yeah.
and to know enough and to have experienced enough with the Force
Mhm.
going on around her that she needs to believe this.
Yeah,
And
Skylar.
sorry, go ahead.
Said maybe Jason helped her here.
It could be that could
But
be it.
KG said no. She just had faith and pride in Jason. So yeah.
That's what I just thought it was interesting because they didn't really answer that question for us. Which is
Mhm.
not that it has to be answered. Both are fine.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was an interesting touch that they did that. So
Yeah.
Hannah brought up, which I agree with. Stay on target. I believe she heard it in Rebels. She felt Kanan's hand on her arm, so I think it's possible
Ooh. Oh, okay.
at the end of it.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Which might, I mean, technically they've already established that everybody has the Force.
correct.
within them.
I think it's Filoni inserting that again
could
into
be.
That's a good
our,
point.
our protagonist.
Yeah.
He's like, everybody has the Force. If they're tapped in, if they're ready, if they're emotionally in a place, maybe that place is clearly strong with the Force.
Yeah.
However that happened.
Yeah.
And they didn't. The audio it just played. She
did.
she
Yeah,
was
that
hearing
very
it
well done.
as they're
The-
going back and
the waves were
forth.
crashing with the lightsaber sounds.
Mhm.
Wasn't that
Yes.
so well done?
It's just genius. It was as good audio
Mhm.
as the visuals were when they went from the waves to the world between worlds.
Yes.
It was the audio version of that. They're just
Yeah.
transitioning amazingly.
Yes.
Yeah, Tehawk said, I was relieved that they gave us a clear answer and didn't leave us wondering if Jason was Force sensitive or not.
Yes.
He's going to be strong in the Force like his father.
I know, which just makes me
Yeah.
more and more excited to see more of that
The
character.
only thing that makes me slightly sad is that he didn't make the jump.
I know.
We haven't got there yet, but he
In
didn't.
some ways, so we could understand. We were kind of talking about it a little
Yeah.
bit yesterday. Like
right, you
that
don't
feels
send
a
him to
little
face Thrawn yet.
to jump to a totally new galaxy where you have absolutely no idea how
Yeah.
bad things could be there.
But Hu Yang went with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. But also, Hu Yang could have stayed behind and trained Jason a little bit.
Right.
But Hu Yang's got some stuff to do. He's got to go make sure that Sabine and Ahsoka work together.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
nothing else.
Right.
They're going to call back to that later in the finale when they fight Thrawn. They're going to stick
Right.
together and they're going to do something cool.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely. I mean, yeah, I think they're gonna overcome, obviously, but it's interesting though. We're gonna have like 3 episodes with. I don't know if it's gonna be 3 full episodes in the new galaxy. I don't know. There's so much there. It's gonna be amazing. But let's jump back to Ahsoka a little bit here and the whole rebirth thing, being baptized. You have not been baptized?
Felicidades.
Felicidades.
Name that movie reference. Amazing.
They know.
They know it. They know it. You say that every
Remember,
time.
there's only like 3 that they have to pick from.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
pretty
pretty much. The
Just
list
kidding.
is short.
There's a lot. You never know.
It's a
We
deep
gave him a
list.
new one tonight.
Jason technically could be trained by Luke,
Ezra. Oh.
because Luke's
That's
still around
true.
too. So he could be trained by
Yeah.
Luke, which I think that would actually be amazing.
Well, there's a good chance too, because now we know that Senator Organa's out there. So
Yeah.
we know that Ahsoka has met with Luke.
Yeah.
So she could
Do
have
you-
been like, give Luke a
Okay,
call.
now that Hera's might be going back to be like on whatever trial,
Yeah.
basically, do you think we'll see Leia?
Yes.
And if we see Leia, do you think we'll see Han?
Yes.
In this series? Possibly Luke? Because the only reason I say that
I
we
don't know.
kind of need to see these characters in some ways is Heir to the Empire, setting up the movie.
Correct. I think we might get all of them.
Okay, that would take this show over the top for me. I would break the 5-point rule if they give me Luke, Leia, and Han together again.
But
Even if it's, I don't care. I
You
don't
wanna do
care
all
if it's
3?
de-aged horribleness, as long as the characters feel like the characters and the story fits. I don't care about anything else. If they give me that, I am going 1 billion over 5. Okay.
1 billion over 5.
Wow.
By the way, Fairy Lecter just jumped in the chat. What's up, Fairy
What's
Lecter
up,
from
Fairy
the
Lecter?
future?
Thanks for jumping in.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for jumping in. Have you seen the episode? Let
Yeah.
us know.
Yeah.
Has anyone else been throwing out questions? I know we got a few more topics to get into, but
I don't know.
also, yeah, again, if you guys have specific questions, definitely tag us in your comment so that we can see it. It
Right.
highlights it. for us.
Skylark
Yeah.
said because Leia and Ezra have a history in
They do.
Rebels,
That
she
would make
might be
sense.
interested in finding him too.
And helping.
Well, she's already helping Hera.
Yeah.
Carson's like she can only make up so many things to stall them,
Right, right.
and that's I just loved that callback.
That was amazing callback.
It's so good, and so maybe Han, maybe not, but yeah.
Yeah, and Ellie said something no one's talking about is Hera saying so she's alive, and Ahsoka saying at least she was when they left. How'd they say it? Satos or
Satos.
Satos.
okay, they said
Because
it
the whole
differently.
time I thought they were saying Cetos.
Okay, Satos. Okay.
Or Cetos.
Because I thought other characters had said Cetos or
Yeah.
Cetos or whatever.
Well,
No,
it's just like-
Cetos, they kept saying. And that's what we always said. And
Yeah.
then she says Cetos.
Satos. That's what it was.
I was like,
And-
maybe it's just the Togrutan pronunciation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
maybe.
think you're right. It's like, if you're from Boston,
Boston.
nobody understands me.
Well, and she did just die and come back to life. So,
True.
I mean, maybe.
That's true.
And now she's talking different because she's smiling a little bit.
I wish she would
Yeah.
have fought the Balrog, though, from Lord of the Rings.
You shall not pass. They were on a bridge. She did fall down.
I didn't even put that
Well, I
together.
didn't either, but I just said
You
it.
just did, and that is even more so a connection.
We did fly, you fool. We're gonna do it now.
They're gonna do
The
that.
only thing that she wasn't doing
What
was
if-
she wasn't hanging on.
What if Ahsoka doesn't make it back? No, she has to because they're gonna redo that scene. All right,
She's gonna come riding in on the white whale
Mhm.
instead of a steed.
Well, because the
We
funny
need
thing
to
is the
name it,
Purgle,
yeah.
in a lot of way, are the eagles in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and
They're
she,
the only ones that can get you out or in of those.
and
Places.
she tamed the thing,
Which
like
that scene
Ezra.
was hilarious, actually.
I mean,
Yes.
really like
are we
that.
just naming him Gil because it just makes sense?
Per
Please.
Gil. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
giant Purgle's name now we're calling him is Gil. That's Gil. Okay,
That's
everybody.
Gil.
Like Carl the Mythosaur, we have
Mhm.
Gil the Purgle.
Carl and
Or
Gil.
Yep.
They
yep.
are best buds. They will be best buds in the future.
Carl's writing on the. It's like my whole like dark me thing. Whenever I said the different animals, it's like the mythosaur is riding on top of the purgle into battle.
Oh wow.
That just destroys everything.
Oh, my
Wow.
That'd be
goodness, yeah.
amazing. Now I want to see like some artwork.
Well, and you wanted to see what's the animal that once it gets a hold of
Yeah,
electricity?
it was
Oh.
the
the
great. I'm
tauntaun.
on the
No, it
tip of
starts
my
with
tongue.
something. But if that gets a hold of
Chat,
it,
help us
if,
out.
if that thing that
Fact
once it gets
checker.
electricity, it grows and grows and grows. Would
Zillow
like
Beast.
Zillow
And there's
Beast
the
hang on to a
actual
thing as
yeah.
it's making the jump. What is
Yeah,
that?
that's what I was
like
saying.
a combination.
That's the nuclear bomb in Star Wars. It just wipes out. That's Thanos in Star Wars. It just wipes out half the galaxy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hannah says at Stay Target, something like I liked is Ezra had an automatic connection to Gil and the other whales, while Ahsoka had to try and tap into her past Force training to connect with Gil.
Ooh, deep,
Yeah.
deep.
Well, and in
Good
some
call,
way,
because it's a natural thing for Ezra.
I don't know if it was necessarily, which shows how powerful Ezra is in the Force. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Although I feel like it was almost just more the Ahsoka the White that's tapping into more of the living Force in some ways in this after, because she's more going with the flow now. She's not fighting things. She's not so angsty and like conflicted now. She's trusting in the Force at this point, and that has made her even more powerful. And I feel like she's just trusting the Force and hearing and connecting. She can connect with living beings that are so Force sensitive so much better now that she's Ahsoka the White. And that's why she was able to connect with the Purgle, I believe. I don't think it was necessarily that
She was trained
she was
before.
trained before on how to. But I guess there is actually, no, to her point, back in the Clone Wars, I thought there was some moments where they did have to do that, maybe in Rebels. But I did like that scene, and actually one of my favorite Ahsoka things. And by the end, that's why I was really enjoying it. It totally threw me off. It threw me for a loop, but I absolutely loved it whenever Ahsoka said, whenever Hu Yang asked, like, where are we going or whatever, it was like their connection. What was the line? I forget now. But she's like, I have no idea.
Yes.
She's smiling about it. I was like, yes. Okay, there's Snips.
She's like, do you even know where this whale is going or something like
Yeah.
that? And she's like, I have no idea.
But she was smiling about it.
Yes.
And then the wise line she says after that is, it's better than not going anywhere.
That's right.
And that was a wise, fun Snips wisdom type of line. Like that felt so
She's
natural.
back.
That felt so much more like Ahsoka.
Yes.
And by the end, it was like, yes. There was still a little bit of introspection whenever she first came to, which we need to talk on that a little bit. She didn't have her headdress thing on.
Yeah, which was
And
weird.
Did that weird anybody else out?
It weirded me out. I'm like, why does she look so old?
We were all like, what is happening right now?
Just to reaffirm what Anakin had told her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're old.
You're old.
It
man.
felt like it. Like she's
Not real. I mean,
I think it was part of the rebirth, like
Yes. Yeah.
the baptism. Like
Wisdom,
she takes the thing
Mhm.
off, and now she's got different clothes, and she's just kind of coming back to. And
I don't think it was. I don't think that she necessarily looked old. It was just we hadn't ever. I don't think we'd ever.
The
seen
reason
her
she
really
looked
without
old
that headdress
is because there was an extra white strip, and it was like white
Oh,
hair right
yeah.
on
Yeah.
like a forehead.
it did.
So that's part of it
Played
for
into
me.
his- Ahsoka
Yeah.
the White a
KG
little
naked
bit more.
Ahsoka is odd.
Yeah, we saw her ears, which was kind of
Mhm.
weird too. We'd never seen her ears.
Oh
before.
yeah, and Hannah.
alien ears.
I
Yeah.
barked laughing. I didn't expect that at all. Last time we saw it was TOTJ when she was a kiddo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
just different. It just threw us off. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it's just
No.
funny. She definitely still had some introspection going on there, and I was kind of like, yeah, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
She
But she
didn't sell
laughed at
me- She
Jason.
didn't sell me, until it was her talking with
Mhm.
Jason. I felt like was so much more Ahsoka.
Yep.
Mhm.
That felt way more like Ahsoka. Did you guys like the scene where she was using psychometry for the Force Echo? When
I didn't.
it was like panning around her.
I thought it was
forever?
it was symbolic as well. I guess maybe that's one of those three. You could be like, oh, good, we get it.
I felt like they could have cut that a little bit because
Mhm.
as the viewer, we had already seen that. You know what I mean? I understand that we were seeing it from her perspective, but I felt like they could have just highlighted it a little bit more, even faster. We didn't need to do the whole full 360 around.
I'm
Or
saying-
at least if you were going to do that,
Yeah.
maybe even like force show what was going on, like in her mind type situation.
Yeah, like
That
you
might
could
be-
replay it like
yeah.
almost like a Force
But I
Ghost
guess
version.
that's more psychometry.
Yeah.
Actually, psychometry, you do see it in your mind a little bit more than the Force Echo, which
Okay.
I think she's more using Force Echo. But Anyway,
I
sorry.
don't know. I didn't mind it because
Little
again, this is a
sweaty.
movie,
yeah,
and she
they
and
were taking
she-
their time.
Time to breathe and really get that realization that Sabine is probably still alive. Because
Well, and
they
what
were
she chose,
careful or concerned. Yeah.
it was kind of shocking to Ahsoka in some ways.
Yeah.
She needed to have that realization that, like, okay,
Revelation.
shoot, my apprentice left with the bad guys and gave him.
Right.
She disobeyed me and didn't destroy the thing after I died.
But she did immediately say she was more like Ahsoka than he thought. So she also like complimented her and then
Yeah.
immediately dissed her.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, Jane Doe has a good point.
But,
Okay.
yeah, say it.
Jason validated to Ahsoka that her interaction with Anakin was real since he heard it. It wasn't just her hallucinating or having a dream type event.
Ah, yeah, that's
That's
a good point.
That's what I'm
point,
saying. Like
yeah.
through the Force,
There's
you
an
heard it.
argument there for sure. Yeah.
It really happened. Okay. Underwater.
I want it to have happened so
In the
we
world
can
between worlds.
see it again or
So the
see
only-
more or something.
Yes.
The
Yes.
only reason I say it's not the world between worlds
Mhm.
specifically, though, is the fact that we didn't go through a portal. to
Portal.
get there.
Well, we don't know. Maybe she fell into a portal. But
But
usually you
that's
see
how
the
you
Loth
got
wolves. Usually you see
Physically,
wolves.
that's
yeah.
why I'm saying it's more mentally that she's in the world between worlds and not physically,
Yeah.
because physically you have to go through a portal to get there. But I guess mentally for her, but it's almost more.
Because we didn't see Mirai. We didn't see
No, we didn't see Mirai. We didn't see the
Yeah.
son. We didn't see the father.
we didn't see the
any of
Loth
that.
wolves. We didn't see a gate.
Yeah.
We didn't see the portal where you're looking into a
We
thing.
didn't see Sidious.
You just walked through it
right.
like a long dream where you just all of a sudden you're there.
yeah.
You're like, how did we get here? Well,
Exactly.
I fell through a cloud and
You
I'm there.
lost.
She
Trust
just-
me, you
she
lost.
walked vertically.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I love the transition of getting out of that.
Yes. The
Mhm.
water coming out.
Are you
That
kidding
was
me?
Super cool.
With
I
the
know, that was a
music.
little creepy.
Well, then how she just
It was kind of
accepted
creepy,
it,
but
too,
yeah,
in
she's
some
drowning again.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy.
But
She
it
was
was
alive.
But it
perfect
was smooth. It
cinematography.
was
It was
smooth,
as
yeah.
good as the waves rolling into her laying
Yeah.
there. It's good.
Yeah.
Also, why did they send like the small lady to get Ahsoka out of the water instead of Brendan Wayne? Like, send
Well,
Brendan Wayne, dude,
Well,
But
to hold up
he was more handsome to look at on the deck when
on
she
the
woke
deck.
up.
I know. I just
So-
that's a small nitpick. I'm just saying
he should have been in there swimming like the
Right.
Coast Guard.
right. The Coast Guard, you know.
I
I
got
don't know.
Throw it on her back, his back, and I like seeing Brendan Wayne.
It was cool to see.
So
him
we got
come back.
Mando and Ahsoka back together.
back together,
But
again.
no
Yeah.
Bo-Katan. We were this close.
I know we're this close.
Great.
And Grogu, where's Grogu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Fair Lecture was asking if we could rehash the fight scene or bring up anything
yes,
about the
yes.
fight sequences again, the actual
Yeah, Anakin
choreography,
versus Ahsoka.
because we did
Mhm.
enjoy that thoroughly. I
definitely
watched it
did.
again today, and I really appreciated the fight choreography. I think Ahsoka they were frame cutting a little bit.
There was
Very-
there was multiple frame cuts, for
On
sure.
yeah, but
which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
when it was actually old Ahsoka, right? But I did like how they ended it because it all of a sudden went to Ahsoka from what's the animated series that we just watched? The 7
Clone
episodes
Wars?
was set with
Oh,
Ahsoka.
you mean
the
Tales of the
Tales,
Jedi?
yeah.
She uses a very similar move.
She lost her thing, and then she just all of a sudden went boss mode, and she went like step, walked around him, boom, used her hand, grabbed the saber, and now
Yeah.
she's there.
Choreography wise, I didn't feel like that.
I didn't
landed quite
understand it.
as well. I
But-
I think they could have done a better job, maybe giving us a little bit more footwork movement for that choreography scene to understand how she disarmed him so easily.
Yeah, I feel like she's struggling a little bit, but Anakin just upped
he
it.
sold it.
He's sold every. He's
He
doing
sold
the behind the
every.
back.
Yeah,
and-
it was totally useless move, but it was like there's
So
pretty cool
good.
Anakin right there, and he still got it, baby.
Because he's like, I'm not even real right now.
Yeah,
Spin the sabers.
he's just like using the force. It's just like totally spinning around him.
Yeah, I mean, it was so good. The blue saber when he just went, and it's the blue saber.
Yes, I love
Like,
seeing
these
that.
moments-
And then the alternate, when the dark side, that was so freaky and
That
creepy,
was
but
And when
awesome.
when he walked back through the cloud, it was Vader breathing.
Yes.
Again, the sound design, the
Yes,
music.
yeah.
And then he's talking, and it was like Vader when they were at, was it Tython or Malachor?
Yeah.
That fight
Yep.
when the mask got broken open,
Yep.
and it was like snips or whatever he said, but it was like Vader but modulated with Anakin.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
that way, and this
Well, it
as
was
he's
like-
walking back through.
It was like dark side Anakin from
Yeah.
like when he was on
Mhm.
whatchamacallit? Mustafar, yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, fact checker. Killing all those guys. That was definitely what he looked like, but almost more zombie-like in some ways. Like the weird skin tone.
Yeah.
Those eyes.
Yeah,
Those
his
eyes
Vader
are
eyes.
freaky as all get out. Sith eyes. What? Right, Vades? Yes. Yeah, Vades. Oh my goodness.
He's breathing.
But yeah, he sold the choreography in every single scene until, the young Ahsoka. Although I do feel like they should have picked a slightly different actor, slightly older for the Siege of Mandalore. That was actually a minor gripe. I understood why they didn't do that. But at the same time, I felt like, Siege of Mandalore Ahsoka was definitely older than, the Ryloth. It was the Siege of Ryloth was the first one we were at. And then we got to the Siege of Mandalore. Siege of Mandalore, she was definitely like a few years older, it felt like. And she didn't look like she changed.
No, she didn't change.
It was just the outfit. But I understand why they did that, but I kind of wish they would have gave like a slightly older or even Ashley Eckstein.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Ashley, I would have even
DH.
minded seeing Ashley Eckstein's face.
Yeah.
I would have really,
with the makeup.
I still hope they do that.
Kind of been cool. Would have been cool. And the voice would have been fine with me at any point.
So many people over.
That's fan service, but
if they did Ashley Eckstein's voice over,
maybe we'll still get it. Maybe we'll still get.
I understand why they didn't though, because like for acting credits and all that stuff, there might be some
what
conflict
if
of interest,
we get like Ashley Eckstein walking up as a different character, talking to Ahsoka?
I would be totally okay with
in
that.
the new galaxy.
I would be totally okay
Wouldn't
with
that just
that.
be weird though? Because
It'd be, but not for fans, because
but you'd hear her talking and instantly picture Ahsoka.
true.
Yeah,
So it'd
that
be-
might be
it'd be a
that might be
little-
why they're not.
No, but they could play it like there's like you just hear a voice like from behind the corner and you think it's Ahsoka, but it's, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it would
Mhm.
pay off if you did it
Oh,
right with the
okay.
Ahsoka fans.
Sure, yeah.
I'm just saying, like they do that in movies. For example, I watched The Little Mermaid the other day, live action. I'm being fully honest, and like the
can't believe you
original
like
Little
that.
Mermaid actress shows
Oh,
up
yeah,
in the
yeah.
movie.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spoilers.
that's true.
Spoilers. Dan, we're in spoiler talk.
And so,
Not
you know
that
what I'm saying?
movie,
But
but-
seeing her didn't take me out of the movie. Hearing her voice didn't take me out of the movie.
Right. Yeah. It was more of like a nod, like to people who know, but the people who don't know, it's just kind of like,
That's
oh,
the
who's
way,
that? You know.
yeah. I wanted that because we got everything else. We got Rex, we got Anakin, we got.
I think it would be a perfect cameo, and it would definitely it would be fan service in a good way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be really cool if they had like Ashley Eckstein be like someone who helps Ahsoka, with something like almost like a passing of the torch in some ways.
Yeah.
I think that would be really, really, really cool.
Kirsten's taking
maybe
off. Thanks,
she's in-
Kirsten, for
Thanks
jumping
for joining
Yeah.
in. I think did others have to as well? I think
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
maybe she'll be in the other galaxy.
Yeah, that's
it could
Not
that's-
as Ahsoka, but just there.
what I think.
Yeah.
I think wherever Ahsoka goes, so does Ashley Eckstein. You heard it here.
you heard it here first.
Well,
But yeah, those basically IC though was IC was asking more about the fights.
Fair Electra.
Fair
Or
Electra.
Okay, I'm sorry.
She's in the
Fair Electra.
choreography. She
Yeah,
can
the
fight.
choreography I did think was solid. The best I think fight was the very beginning between Ahsoka and Hayden, Anakin, and then actually I still think the young Ahsoka fighting the Mandalorians was the best out of the whole episode. I didn't, Rosario Dawson, she does a good job, but I don't feel like she sold it quite as well as Hayden did with that fight.
Yeah.
You could tell that he was like, and she was projecting. There's something like I say a lot of times. She was projecting. The only reason you can get away with that in Star Wars and fights like this is that you're using the Force to also connect with the Force to predict movements. So you can have a little bit of that, but if you have too much, it starts to take away from the fight when it comes to choreography, because then it's not as believable reaction time and everything like that, because he's also using the Force. But I didn't really love the disarm. I thought it was okay. I thought there could have been a better move set. I think it was it Matt Gillard who did the choreography, or Nick Gillard. I'm sorry, Nick Gillard, who did the choreography for the prequels.
Yes.
I think they really should have got him back
Yeah.
for doing a lot of the choreography. I'm not saying it's bad, but I feel like he did an amazing job with the prequels. I mean, he took sword fighting to the next level or lightsaber fights to the next level.
And Electra can confirm that. I think the young Ahsoka fight's better. Coming from a former MMA practitioner, trust me. LOL.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for sure. And
So
how
so
she was
it just looked natural.
and she was incorporating different move sets too. It wasn't just relying completely on the blades. I mean, she was sweeping the legs,
Yep.
using different move sets on the ground, moving a lot more. So yeah, but what else? We got any other pros and cons for this episode? I think we're gonna have to wrap it up here pretty soon.
Well, just know we might buffer because there's.
We might buffer here because the 2-hour mark
We
is
might take-
coming
yeah.
up. But what a great episode, really. I mean, fantastic. It's got me excited. Crazy that they are inside the whale gill, open the
Yeah.
mouth. That was kind of funny. I was joking around as soon as they went. I was like, and that's how they die.
That's right.
Just eat some.
Yeah.
It's definitely a Jonah and the whale type
It was.
situation.
Reminded me of Pinocchio even.
Yes, definitely very Pinocchio.
Hold on one sec. We're going to be right back in 2 seconds. Say something, fact checker.
Oh, what? Oh.
Just
okay.
say hello.
Hello.
The dreaded.
Oh, yeah, there's some flirting going on in the chat if people haven't noticed, off topic, but it's kind of funny.
What?
Let's see.
Who was flirting?
Well, it's in the chat.
Oh, okay.
You had to be there, Dustin.
I was
Yeah.
hoping it was in the show. I was like,
Oh, no,
what
no,
did I
in the
miss
chat.
in the show. Like,
We don't
Hu
get that
Yang-
in this show.
Hu Yang and Ahsoka.
Oh
Ahsoka?
Oh my god.
We're definitely back, by the way.
Oh, we're back now. Okay,
okay, yeah,
Stop saying
sorry.
weird things, doesn't?
You threw me for a loop. I wasn't prepared for
That's
that
okay.
one.
No, you're good. All
We're
right,
good.
sorry about the dreaded bluff.
I don't think we got buffered.
Buffering.
I don't think we did.
You
I
didn't?
just
Oh.
no, I,
Well,
I
we're
caught
6
it.
seconds from 2 hours.
Oh.
I caught it though.
Oh, good job. Good
Yeah,
job.
Dan
I
caught it.
beat it.
Nice.
Nice.
Pilot,
Flying the ship, bro.
Pilot Dan doing the job. You ever been on a Jedi Star?
Never been on a Jedi starfighter. Can you teach me how to
No.
use a light? No.
That is a question people are wondering.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Who is going to train Jason?
Yeah.
Ahsoka? I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but
It's
could
going to
be
be a bit Luke, but I think
You think
Ezra.
Luke?
Everybody wants Ezra.
yeah.
Or are they going to continue the legacy, which is something huge they touched upon in here, which we didn't even get into yet?
Yes, I knew there was more. Yeah.
Dang it, man! There's so much to this episode. We go on forever, but yeah, are they going to continue the legacy and have Sabine train him because Kanan technically trained Sabine. And Ahsoka
She
trained
still
Sabine,
needs so
part
much
of the
training,
legacy.
though. I don't think.
I don't know.
How close is Jason to any of these characters? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's heard stories of Ezra, so I feel like
Mhm.
he knows about. He's like, so the stories of Ezra.
yeah.
And
With the
remember that?
whale, it's taking him and the bad guys away.
So
That was
I
really
think
that was a nice
that
line.
would
Yeah.
mean a lot because
Yeah.
he's a legend. Ezra.
He'll need a father figure and someone who knows his dad or knew his dad.
Yes,
Do
that's right.
Symmetry.
Well, and Kanan definitely trained Ezra.
Well,
so
yeah.
yeah. So
I
that
think
would be
Ezra would be the perfect.
I agree.
Hunter says Sabine shouldn't be training anyone. She can't even grab a cup.
Yes.
That's true.
One for the cup, baby.
And then Skylark, brother Ezra.
Brother Ezra.
Or
Oh,
friend
no.
Ezra.
Yeah,
Bring
your
that up.
brother.
What if Balin's skull ends up training him?
Oh, that would be interesting.
No.
Oh.
I think I don't think Hera would trust him after.
No,
Well,
I know, but what if,
what if he
like,
turns
for some reason?
Yeah, he'd have to really prove his case to her.
No,
She's
he's not a
too-
proven case. He takes him. He just takes
Oh,
him.
well, I
Balin
hope
takes
not.
Jason.
I guess if she goes to jail.
Or actually, there's kind of precedence for it in Heir to the Empire with a certain other Jedi that shows up, or Jedi, if you could say, in Heir to the Empire, who's wanting Leia's kids in Legends.
Yeah.
Could be one of those situations. I mean,
And we just got Mrs. Manrique said, I just finished watching episode 5.
Nice.
So she must have gotten in
5
and
out
out.
of 5, she said.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. She's giving us her hot
and
take.
asking, did Hera hear the lightsabers? We were just talking about that, and I think she did. Fact checker thinks yes.
What?
Hera heard the
yes,
lightsabers
yeah.
too. I think through some
I say
force
she
connection,
just trusts. I say she just trusts her
and she might just
son.
trust based on the sound design is why I say it, but it may not be the case. It's almost like viewer's choice.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's fine.
But-
Dave likes to leave it to. He said it many times. Dave says, "I like to leave it to your interpretation."
But Hannah confirmed that Hera felt Kanan's like maybe touch her arm at the end of Rebels after he was gone as like a force ghost, maybe a force being, so maybe she's got some in tune with the force there. So it's possible. That's really cool. You just watched it.
Hera felt Kanan's touch after. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had something else I was going. I'm forgetting.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say, what was the lesson that Ahsoka actually learned in the World Between Worlds? What was the lesson?
Is this like a quiz?
I'm quizzing everybody.
Go ahead, Dan.
It was crazy how I liked when
I don't take tests well. Just kidding.
Yes, you do.
Especially in the pressure.
I like how when he turned in that scene where he's like, you're me, you're everything I've ever taught you or whatever.
Mhm.
Basically just like forcing his
Yes.
ideals and everything onto her, but he was
Lot of
doing it to
pressure.
prove a point
Mhm.
in a lot of ways.
You
which-
are bad. You are evil.
Yeah,
you are
kinda,
a failure,
and then-
kind of.
Yeah, and then how she had to fight against that.
Mhm.
I think the lesson in a lot of ways that she took away from was she has to choose life
To live.
But
and also
not live in the past.
Okay, yeah.
And not follow in her master's footsteps.
Yeah. As well as not just I don't want to say look for a fight, but to also look for the adventure.
Yes, that's a good point. Yeah.
Because that's why I think she was freer in the end of the episode. Since she could just say, I don't know where we're going, but this is gonna be fun. She was lighthearted about it. So she wasn't worried about the fight. She wasn't weighed down by the war.
Yeah. It was Ahsoka the
Mm-hmm.
Gray turning into Ahsoka the White, which is more
Mhm.
wise and looking for more peace than
Yeah.
conflict.
Yeah.
Which plays back to even her talking with Balin, and she even said like almost the same line in the World Between Worlds, and how our legacy is one of destruction. That's how I was
Mhm.
trained. And he's like, well, you have to change with the times, and he's like, but aren't we so much more than that? And
Yeah.
I really like how they touched upon that, and how they even used that in the World Between Worlds for her to finally realize, like, I have to be more than just a fighter, just
Right.
somebody looking for aggressive negotiations. I have to be Ahsoka the Wise,
Right.
and look for peace rather than fights. But also knowing when to fight if you have to fight. So,
And people in the chat, I'm just saying, you chat are like on fire.
Oh yeah.
They got it nailed.
Oh, they do.
I love
They
listening
do.
to the chat and,
guys are rocking
and getting their takes. But like you said, Dustin, I think they passed the quiz. Like Mrs. Manrique said, live. Tamerkin says, I wonder what the lesson was too. The lesson was not to turn to the dark side. How not to turn to the dark side, says Hunter.
Yeah.
I think maybe she learned to give up her guilt for what Anakin became.
Oh.
Jane Doe,
Yeah.
dark side,
Yeah,
like the
important.
cave lesson for Luke. Stand
Yeah.
target, Hannah. Oh, so here we go. I think it was a test to let her old sad her die.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her real self live. Will she continue to drag her feet, or will she step into the light again? That kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's almost like, will she let her past keep weighing her down underwater
And this is
Or
part of the
choose
acting.
to forgive herself
Mhm.
Yep.
and let go of the things weighing her down?
Right,
so
'cause she
can
blamed herself
step into
For all of those clones that died.
Yeah.
She's
Mhm.
like, I sent them off to die.
Yeah,
Doesn't that weigh on
exactly.
you?
Yeah.
To Anakin.
Of course it does.
Of course it does. But
Mhm.
yeah, and then
Bismo's in the chat.
What's up,
Said
Bismo?
he's busy, very busy.
Busy Biz.
Got a
Busy
quiz
Biz.
tomorrow, but wanted to say hi.
What's up, Bismo? Thanks for jumping in.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
jumping in. Man.
That was quite an episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's on this topic, this quiz. He said, "Don't make the same mistakes as he did, and also be
Okay.
a warrior and keep fighting." Is the lesson?
Yeah,
she
The
that's
warrior.
great.
And there you go.
Great
Mhm.
take. Bismo's always
He
got the
taught
good
her how to
takes.
be a warrior, if nothing else.
right. But
How to-
even he
Shadow
acknowledged-
warrior was the title.
Shadow
right?
warrior.
That's true.
So
He taught her how to be. He taught her how to be a shadow warrior.
And I like what Hunter said here too. He also said you are not defined by your past. That is a
Mhm.
great way to look at it as well. So there's so many.
yeah.
Again, great Dave Filoni, Faith in Filoni here again. He gives it
Mhm.
open to interpretation, and you can take what you want from it in certain
Yeah.
ways.
There's
Because
a
it's
lot of
like it's almost
depth
all
in
of the
there.
above.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know?
Right. Even Filoni, if you asked him, he'd be like, well, I kind of got out of it that, you could hear Filoni saying
Yeah,
that.
you could.
He's like,
But
but,
that's
you know,
just my interpretation. What's your interpretation?
yes, you could see Filoni like leaving it out. Like, how do you do that? How do you deliver something that answers so many questions, but also raises so many questions? These are why the best movies, this particular peak Star Wars episode was so good because it
Yeah.
answered questions
It did.
and brought up so many other questions for speculation, for interpretation,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
nobody's right nor wrong.
Mythical.
It's not black and white.
Definitely.
They kind of left it open ended. Like, did she hear? Did she not hear? Is Jason going to get trained by this person, that person? We may never get that answer, or at least for a while. I think Jason is the future
Oh yeah,
of
for
Star
sure.
Wars.
Yeah, and Tehog also said, and she contains her master's knowledge, but
Mhm.
doesn't have to choose the same path. She's got to create her own journey and become more fully herself. Has to forgive herself for Anakin's choices.
Mhm.
That's great. That's a really good take too. Man, there's so many. There's so
Yeah.
many.
Yeah.
I like Bismo too. He says figuratively fighting. Very true.
Yes, he wouldn't want it to be. He agreed with me. Filoni wouldn't want it to be
Yeah,
too
that was
definitive.
a great take.
That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
You were on
Target.
I got-
I got 3 seconds. I got little, bigger, biggest.
I think you did that backwards.
And I did it.
right on target, baby.
We know how to be on target here.
Oh
Sometimes.
man, I mean, we could dissect this episode
For days. Well,
literally.
Star Wars
There's
Theory did it
so
for like
much.
9 hours.
Did he? Oh
He
my
streamed for
goodness.
9 hours,
Oh,
and then he
wow.
watched
He
it,
does
and then he
some
talked for
long
like
streams.
5 hours.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot to talk about. There's so much more. I mean,
This
there's
is-
even where we're going. There's so much.
It's peak Star Wars.
Yeah,
you-
peak Filoni.
I think-
peak Filoni live action
I mean,
Star Wars so far. I feel like.
That we've gotten it since
Yes.
like the movies, the originals, and the prequels, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it's culminating. It's using
This
all
is-
of the knowledge of the Clone Wars
Mhm.
and Rebels
That's
and
true.
any animated show we've ever gotten, plus the prequels, plus the
Massive.
sequels. It's adding all of that together and delivering a
Mando.
story with that, like we
Yeah.
wanted in the proper sequels, but
Mhm.
didn't get.
It's using what came before and honoring it and not
Mhm.
taking away from it. It's actually like doing it in the way
Yeah.
that gives fans what they want.
Yes.
And Filoni's really good at doing that.
But you
And
know
that's
what
the way
fans
to
want?
that's the way to get new fans and to go back and watch what's already
Yes.
been great in Star Wars. And it's how to
Mhm.
get new fans moving forward and give people something that they can get attached to and get
Yes.
excited about and
Yeah.
look forward to. This is the best Disney Star Wars we've got other than Mando, I'd say at this point.
Well,
this is the biggest
early
lore.
Mando.
What was that?
Early Mando.
Early Mando. Yes, I agree.
Or
Yes, I know
bits
that.
of
Early Mando
Okay.
was just fresh. It was just
It was
fresh.
very
Yeah.
fresh. Yeah, for sure.
We even had a commenter that said that he didn't watch any of the animated stuff. He said, I didn't watch any of that cartoon stuff.
Right.
He's like, and he didn't like the Marok scene. That's what he was commenting on the Marok video.
Yeah.
But he thought that he sounded like he was enjoying Ahsoka.
So that's good.
So
That's good.
if you just are coming into Star Wars with the Ahsoka show, you can get a lot out of this, I think, still, because it's quality movie making. And even though you may not get all of the references, you might still enjoy the show. And then go back
Yeah.
and mine the depths of Dave Filoni that he's been working on for 15 years since he walked into Star Wars with Clone Wars.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to ask you guys because you talked about it yesterday, and maybe you'll talk about it more next pre-Soka Tuesday. But we didn't get Thrawn and we didn't get Ezra.
Mm.
So when are we going to get them?
And
Yeah, that's
Bismo
a
had to
great
take
point.
off. Thanks for
Thanks for
popping
tuning
in, Bismo. Good
Busy
luck on your
biz.
studying.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's got a lot going on. man.
Mhm.
Yeah. When are we going to get Thrawn? Is that the question?
That's
Thrawn or
and
Ezra? Yeah.
It's
I mean,
got to
we're
be
right
in,
there.
I think
aren't
it's in
we?
It's gotta be
6.
next
The
episode,
story
right?
now has
Mhm.
officially taken us.
Or Ezra next episode and then Thrawn in the last episode? Or are we going to go straight?
I think
Hera?
I think Thrawn first and
Yeah,
then
because
Ezra.
Thrawn was in the trailers.
Yeah, definitely.
Ezra was never
No.
mentioned or
That's-
shown or anything.
Actually, there is actually a possibility we won't see Ezra
I know.
because of the scene of Ahsoka the White showing up to Sabine on Lothal.
Like a reset.
Yeah, because that means they're doing that scene again. I mean, with seeing Ahsoka the White
Yes.
and the cloaks. the
How
only
are they
thing
doing that?
She has to get the staff, which I'm wondering if she'll get the staff in the new galaxy.
What if they go back
I wonder.
after? What if time travel is part of coming back to the
I-
galaxy? They
I don't
land in
think
the
it's
wrong.
time travel.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be time travel. I think it's going to be I think they're not going to find him.
Oh wow.
I don't think they're going to find Ezra this time, or he has to sacrifice him again, or they have to leave
What?
him there, or it's something like that, and then they're going to come back without him, and then that's this. End of the season is Ahsoka again, which I don't know, man. But Ahsoka again going to Sabine and saying, "Let's find him for real this time." Basically, like it's time for us to go find him for real without all this other baggage that we had the first time we tried to get him. Right? Wouldn't
Yeah.
that make sense?
I guess.
I don't know. It seems like
Now
they
that
gotta-
she's fully Ahsoka the White, which
Yeah.
I loved. I mean, that's going to be the title of like everything.
from now
And
on.
all of the tie-ins to, the greatest trilogy of all time with the Lord of the Rings. we're gonna get Ahsoka the White. I mean, we're just watching Gandalf's takes now. We're gonna follow what
I'm gonna
Gandalf
watch
did
Lord
from
of the
now
Rings
on.
again before I watch the rest of
Right,
this.
you guys gonna go
Oh,
watch Lord of the
man.
Rings like we are?
Yeah.
It's a lot
Oh,
of
man.
homework in a week.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
there's
a
so
lot
much
of
to
there's a lot of
watch.
hours in that.
Oh.
The extended edition is the only way to watch it.
Oh,
Let me
my
just
goodness.
be real with you. Old man Dan, he's got all that time.
Don't look at the chat right now.
Oh, they know I'm older than Dustin. I
Okay,
know.
you saw it.
Old
is that-
Daniken.
I know. I think
that what they're
Skywalker started
saying?
that one.
I know. Actually, it's hilarious. My wife was asking if people realized that Dan and I are brothers.
Yeah.
We are brothers,
We've
Daniken.
talked about it, but yeah,
I
they're
don't
realizing it again tonight.
I don't know if we've really confirmed that too much, but yeah, Dan and I are definitely brothers.
Mhm.
We have been our whole lives. Well,
And
I was alive without a brother for like 3 years, 4 years maybe.
wait, where are we going with this?
4 years.
And it was pretty cool to have a brother when he was born.
Aw,
Oh,
he
you
turned
saved
it around. He
right?
Filoni'd
You
you.
saved it.
Yeah. No, it was good.
Oh,
I
my
wanted to
goodness.
name him something else, and it's the story. I was like, it was funny.
Oh my goodness. That's
It's all good.
hilarious.
The Hawkins lore goes deep, says Hunter.
That it does.
That's right. You know it.
Mhm.
You know it. But in our intro of this show, getting back to the show, Nick and Matt are riffing. I took a clip of them riffing on whether or not Ezra was even going to show up. They're like, he's probably not even going to show up at all. It's probably going to be like the very end of the whole show.
Yeah.
It's in the intro video.
That's
And it
hilarious.
might come to pass.
It
Even
might.
Bismo thought we were going to see Thrawn last night, and we were kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. But Nick was like, no, World Between Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know at this point. You know, we can speculate all day.
I know.
It seems like they should definitely get to it now. Like we've been building up to getting to this new galaxy for so long. It's like, let's just get there and get to the meat of things even more. I mean, we got some meat with Ahsoka and finally getting to Ahsoka the White. So it feels like there's nothing else holding us back. The only thing I have questions on and what they might do, it's either they're going to split it and do the new galaxy and then Hera dealing with things in the original galaxy, which there needs to be names. Are they going to do names? I don't know.
They got to name them.
But I think they might split it up that way. Or this next episode, I'm really hoping they don't do this actually, but I could see it, is what if the next episode is just Hera,
Yeah.
Jason,
And Kanan.
Well, no.
Who?
Carson,
Or not who, yeah.
San-
Santa?
San-teva.
Santeva.
Santeva.
Mhm.
And then Leia, if we get Leia and all
Yeah.
them, it could be a complete episode of them just dealing with that.
That's
and then the
fine.
last two
Mon
episodes,
Mothma.
Mon
yeah.
Mothma, and then the last two episodes would be
Just
Oh, I
completely
see.
in the new galaxy and them trying to find Ezra, Thrawn, and then dealing with maybe the Grisk or other species or different planets.
Because,
Or
man.
Peridia is the planet we're going to. It's gonna be interesting.
Somebody said it earlier, like, how are they going to wrap this up in 3 episodes?
I don't know. That's the.
yeah.
I
Like,
don't
but
think they're
in
going
a-
to fully wrap it
in
up.
a good way, right? I think they're not. I think
Which that might be a big con for me because I don't love
if you
like
don't
if you have
get
a
the
series,
answers-
I want a beginning and an end, and then give me a slight tease at the end. Don't like just leave it completely open ended
yeah,
because that will be frustrating to me if they do that.
yeah.
I don't know. It depends on how it plays out, but yeah, like at least with like the Marvel movies and stuff like that, it was a self-contained story. And then at the end, they usually gave you like a tease to something else, but it didn't affect necessarily that story. It lived on its own. So I hope they do that with this show. It lives on its own. It has a beginning, middle, and end. And then we get the tease to something else. But I don't want to just leave the end of this season on a cliffhanger because that would actually be kind of annoying in some ways. Not necessarily. Depends on if they're doing a second season or if they're going straight into the movie. But then we're going to have to wait. I mean, how long are we going to have to
Forever.
wait?
2 years.
See all
at
this
least.
stuff. That's the irritating thing, though, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want no matter what, I want a good segment on Thrawn. Just him, just whatever he's doing or building or setting up, or I don't know. Just I know it's the Ahsoka show, but we need some quality Thrawn time
Quality Thrawn time. I agree.
Yeah, quality
need
Thrawn.
to
Seriously.
really build up his evilness and what's going to happen in the movie and blah blah blah.
I think they're
Mhm.
playing him more. I think they're playing him more the anti-hero than
Mhm.
the full villain. But I'm still curious to
Against
see how they
what?
play it with.
Yeah.
People are thinking episode 6, or at least Ellie Blair said episode 6.
Okay, people are thinking
Okay.
episode 6. We see Thrawn and Ezra.
Thrawn and Ez.
I'd like that. I'd like it, honestly.
Yeah, 'cause
I'd
that
rather
would-
them get to it.
Yeah, get to it now. They both made the jump. I mean, they're both flying through space. So the next time we see them, how long are they flying through space? I mean, it has to take a little while.
Right.
Those are some big engines on the Eye of Sion, and we know that the Purrgil move pretty fast. But seriously, are they just going to spend time talking in the spaceship again? They love to do that.
Right.
We got to get some monologues, there may be a couple of conversations, and then we're about to come out of the hyperspace into blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, boom, where are you? We are literally in uncharted territory.
I know, that's
We
what I'm
are
most
in-
excited for.
What are the waters?
Totally
What
new
did you say
galaxy.
about the waters?
Uncharted
Uncharted
waters.
waters.
We are literally in uncharted waters.
Yeah.
So we can hang out in this current galaxy as long as they want, but eventually they got to answer some question. There's nothing that we have seen in the new galaxy. Every scene from the trailer is dead. We've seen it,
Well, except for Thrawn.
Except for Thrawn.
except for Thrawn.
But yeah, other than that. But that's still literally just him walking on the
Eye of Sion,
Eye of Sion. Yeah.
and
Eye
that's
of
so
Sion.
little. It's embarrassingly little.
Right.
So the riches to come are just going to be insane.
Yeah, I just can't
Mhm.
wait. I cannot wait to see this new galaxy, and I hope they do it really well. But that just opens up so much for the world of Star Wars. It's kind of sad in some ways that they had to jump to a totally new galaxy
in order to
come
make
up
it
with
work.
something
Yeah.
creative for Disney. But it is very exciting that Dave's doing this, and it could explain a lot, and it could give us so much more
Mhm.
in Star Wars to look forward to.
Yeah.
And actually get us excited for Star Wars again. And that's the goal that this show needs to accomplish,
Mhm.
Mhm.
because Disney is going straight down the tube right now, and Lucasfilm has not been profitable yet. Actually, I just heard that today.
Wow.
They have not regained their money back from their purchase of
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was by some
Shocking.
sleuthers online. We're doing some digging into the financials through the UK and the US with free open sources, and figured out how much they spent, how much they've lost.
Ouch.
It's pretty crazy. So anyway,
That's why they have to sell ESPN.
this that's why this has to work. I mean, this
Mhm.
is the last hope in a lot of ways, especially
Yeah.
with the writer's strike.
Yeah.
There's so much going on right now.
Well,
So
they-
much hinges
Oh,
on this.
I was just going
but
to say it. Hunter said it. They did it to themselves.
Yeah.
they
themselves.
definitely did it to themselves,
Yeah.
and they deserve whatever's coming to them. To be honest,
Yeah.
with with that, I just don't want to see Star Wars go down the tube.
Yeah.
But
The only
This is a
saving
good
grace that
sign.
could possibly happen
Good
is
sign.
if
George Lucas,
George
bought it
Lucas
back.
buys it back.
I'm
That's
good
a
with that.
that's a possibility, dude.
I'm
or
good with
Apple
that.
through George
Yeah,
Lucas.
yeah, that's the other.
Does he own Apple now?
No, no, he doesn't. But what could happen? What I heard could happen was, it was George Lucas and a few others could sell all their stock in Disney,
It would destroy him.
and that would make Apple the majority shareholder or something like that, which would be a
Oh.
forceful takeover, and then they would kick out
All of the other people, Disney.
Bob Iger and all the
Oh.
people running Disney. They could
Boy,
put
that's
in whoever
big
they
time
wanted.
stuff, man.
That's huge, and that could happen in the next
Yeah.
few weeks potentially.
That's crazy.
I mean, that would blow up Star Wars, and this show has blown up Star Wars in a way that it's good
You mean
because
stay on
this is what I'm
target?
talking about. If we're what?
You mean Stay on Target show?
Yeah, this blew up Sam Truck. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
You were saying Ahsoka blew up Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but this show blew up Star Wars.
Your face looks so lost there for a second.
I think I know what I'm saying,
go
but
ahead.
then
We'll stop
Interrupting. Yeah.
interrupting you. Sorry.
I'm trying to tie it all together. But this Star Wars is again. I have a feeling this show is going to end on such a good note with
Mhm.
fans,
Mhm.
with the Star Wars cinematic universe building,
Yeah.
and they're going to course correct. But get rid of all those other shows. Get rid of all those other movies you're talking about.
Mhm.
We're going into this because
Yeah.
this is working.
yes.
100%. It's got a
This
plan.
is a proof of concept.
Dave
in a
has
lot of
been
ways.
building this for years, a decade at least,
Yeah.
and building this story. It's airtight. Clearly, it's airtight.
Yeah.
I haven't. Have you found a story plot hole yet, Dustin?
I mean,
You mean
not really plot holes, I guess you could say. There's
wrong?
some things that are just but they're minor. Yeah, it's not really.
I mean,
like,
every
it's
episode
not
of
major things like in
Mando season 3.
or Obi-Wan. That's like canon, just
canon breaking.
breaking.
Yeah.
Boba Fett was not Boba Fett.
No, every
It was
single
like-
one of those, just about every episode, you're like, why did they just
Yeah,
walk down the street that they
just
were
went down.
there,
Yeah,
and why didn't they take a ship around the thing instead of just driving right through it? And
Yeah.
like they couldn't just go around. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
this
crazy.
doesn't have those kind of plot holes. Maybe it has a few plot conveniences, minor, but they're not plot holes. And all the characters are working.
Yeah.
I still want to see Shin and Balin do some cool stuff.
That was actually, I was going to say a negative in this was not seeing Shin
Yeah.
and Balin.
Although I think
I really wanted to see them.
the roles in Fact Checker were like a pro was not seeing who.
Sabine.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
Oh,
They were saying
sorry. Oh, no, Morgan.
Left-hand turn.
Okay, I'm
Morgan,
sorry.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
a lot of
jumped.
people were saying
I mean,
Morgan.
Sabine,
Pro,
it was nice to have a little break after her betrayal, but
Yeah,
Morgan,
but Morgan, no.
definitely.
Everybody was happy there was no Morgan. No, I'm
I
kidding.
don't. I get why people don't like her,
Who,
It doesn't
Morgan?
bother me
but
as
at
much.
the same time, isn't
She
it
does-
good that we don't like her?
Yeah,
She's
she's
the
supposed
villain.
to be bad.
But it's not that I don't like her because she's a bad guy. I don't like her acting.
She's a little over the top, but I don't really have that much of a problem with that because she's
That's
a
so
Star
funny,
Wars
but
villain in some ways.
Ahsoka is maybe over the top in ways, and you don't like that.
No, she's like under the top.
under over the.
No, she's
Oh,
like
wow.
overacting in like a not good way that adds to the character. Like Morgan Elsbeth.
Exactly.
No, Morgan Elsbeth, I feel like is not overacting to the point that it's like annoying for me.
To me, it's so it doesn't feel like it's a. I don't know. It just
Does
completely.
it feel
just,
more like a Saturday morning cartoon villain
Yeah,
instead of
it's
like
overacted.
a serious?
I it takes me out of the show completely because I
She
don't
was
believe
better.
her.
I
don't
agree that
believe
she
her.
was better in Mando season
yes,
2.
agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
do believe that she was better. She definitely
She had
played a.
movement where here she just is always standing around staring at the sky or waving her finger.
I
I
think
mean, it's just boring.
the thing is though, I feel like in some ways, I don't know if Dave really had it solidified that she was a Night Sister
Okay.
in Rebel or in Mando season 2. I almost feel like that happened in between then and now.
Mhm.
And then he leaned into it. And then with that, it created her acting to be more Night Sister, slightly crazy. So she's kind of going more that route, which I don't necessarily agree with. But also some time has passed still.
Mhm.
But I think we're gonna get. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get another fight between her or Ahsoka and Morgan Elsbeth,
would
and
be
I am
great
all for that because that was a good fight.
She needs some character development to
Yeah, definitely.
to show some different type of acting skills
Yeah.
than all the blah we've seen so
And maybe
far.
it's more the interesting fact that she is a Night Sister for me that I feel like I'm more interested in that character for the fact that a survivor of the Night
Yeah.
Sisters and tying that universe
Sure.
with the new galaxy is interesting
Yeah.
to me. But
Yeah.
I could see where you guys are coming from as well, though.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
ladies,
no, I'm
the
not
lady.
really trying to hate on her. I know some people really like her, and you.
I mean, I'm
think
not
she's a
saying
good
like she's
villain.
the best.
Yeah.
I
But,
don't have
yeah.
as much of a problem. But,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. To each their
but
own.
I see where you're coming from.
Hannah roll Morgan versus Ahsoka, but Morgan just stands there because she doesn't move ever.
yeah,
How old is she, the actress? She must be kind of
She's like
oldish.
I thought she was in her 60s.
Oh,
can
so
look it up,
kind of
late
old-ish,
50s.
but
Really?
But she was actually, wasn't she like the daughter or something of
use your hate fact checker.
what?
Hunter says, "Use your hate fact checker."
Joining the dark side.
No. She's 57.
56.
And
Oh,
isn't
57.
her like godfather or something? She's tied to what's his name? Famous actor.
Elvis?
No. Fighter of Bruce Lee.
Really?
I thought.
Just like Brendan Wayne is John Wayne's grandson.
Yeah, it is. She's like, I think she's got some like, she's kind of like Hollywood royalty in some
Oh,
ways.
wow,
Kind of like
okay.
Brendan
There you
Wayne
go.
in some ways.
Let's see.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but
I'm just-
anyway,
The chat was on fire again.
They were on
earlier,
fire
I gotta
again.
say, they're just
They-
always on fire. There's some powerful conversations going on in the chat. Some
Oh.
lighthearted conversations going on in the chat, and
her godfather is Bruce Lee.
Yes.
Bruce
Her father-
Lee.
Her
Wow.
father
Books.
is a martial arts expert too, so she's classically trained in martial arts.
Yeah, so her dad was a student of Jeet Kune Do founder Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely good stuff in the chat. We did have a question from Hunter I want to get back to. What if the force is stronger or weaker in this new galaxy? What if it doesn't exist? What if Hondo, my boy, saves Ezra?
Oh, Hondo! If Hondo shows up, I would be all for it. He's in the new galaxy, just scamming people. He found his new calling. Dude, that would be amazing if Hondo shows up. That's a 1 trillion over 5 for me. Hondo shows up. That wins it all.
I mean, and next week would be the perfect week to drop Hondo in.
It would be.
Talk like a pirate day.
Talk like a
Pirate Day.
baby. Yes.
And Skylark's just throwing shade. She's dropping bombs on this in this chat. I love Skylark talking about Elsbeth, I think, hanging out in the sun too long with Dan.
Oh,
Come
man.
on. Look at this complexion.
Look at this complexion.
Come on. And Hunter says, I hope for space dinosaurs.
Yeah. Dude, that would be sweet.
Well, we kind of get those on like Mandalorian stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it's
like T-Rex, you know?
Like, yeah, kind of like.
But
But
force-wielding T-Rexes. They just like run really fast. They don't even know. They just, boom, the force run.
force run. Oh my goodness.
That'd be
we
so
get a
freaky.
Jedi T-Rex.
Like force-running zombies. Like not just running zombies,
I
but
feel like we might get zombies because there's precedence for it in some ways with Marok and
right.
Night Sister
Yes,
magic.
that's true. There's so many things going on.
So I don't know what all they're going to bring in and what we're going to see. It's crazy.
Nobody does, except for Filoni.
There is so much there, and we could literally go on for another 2 hours, but we're hitting about the 2.5 hour mark. We're going to have to start wrapping it up. So if you guys have any final questions, let us know in the chat. We'll try to get to them before we leave. But wow, what a great episode. I see the poll is still running. Let's get to that poll though, real quick, to see what everybody thought about this episode. End the poll, and I will get to that.
Yep.
One Hondo.
One Hondo, baby.
Mrs. Manrique says, what if Ahsoka arrives on the planet before Balin and Morgan because the whales are quicker?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Wow.
She could save Sabine really quickly that way if she gets there first and sets up.
Or she could find Ezra first, and then
there you go.
And Ezra and her could go and fight Thrawn.
That's
and try to
fascinating. Like,
stop.
what kind of a head start do they really have? Like, how much time do you think has?
Oh well,
It'd be difficult to explain in the Star Wars universe.
Well, no,
she was out for
one cycle,
one rotation, right?
So
Yeah.
at least
How long is the rotation? A day?
Yeah, that's like a Star Wars.
A Star Wars day.
A day and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, so but that's how long she was out.
Drone
and they were
rotation
there.
is like around Earth.
So it hasn't
is a
been
day.
forever. So I think a space whale could come up with that and make that up. Maybe that's interesting.
Yeah,
But that he wouldn't do that if it doesn't fit the plot. He wouldn't just excuse that. Like plot hole convenience thing.
Right. Well, and the thing about Star Wars is Star Wars Galaxy is not really super into like
specifics.
getting super nerdy with all the details. Certain details, yes, but it's not sci-fi. It's not like science fiction.
Right.
You
You
have
can't
to be,
explain it with
like,
science.
Yeah, it's not. They don't lean. It's more the mythical side, and there's that aspect to it. But like they don't explain time in a lot of ways with certain things, like how long it takes you to get from point A to point B. They just kind of avoid a lot of these things, unless it's a parsec. But parsec's a distance instead of time. Anyway, so it's best just not to get stuck in the weeds with Star Wars and science fiction.
Okay.
So I don't think they're going to touch upon that, because if they did that, they would have to explain it, and that's something they don't really like to do. Unless the only precedence they have for that, though, in an odd way, is in Mando season 3. In the beginning, you actually see Din and Grogu flying in the ship, and a Purgle technically does pass them,
What if that's
or is
them?
at least next to them in hyperspace.
But only Grogu saw it.
So that's technically. I just busted my own point in some
Oh, wow.
ways. They might do it. They might do it. What
Mando's
if they show
coming
him
in.
next to him? Mando's coming in.
I don't know.
Now we're just throwing everything.
You could do anything, but no, that would be insane. Wow.
Oh man, we're just gonna keep speculating until the next episode.
I want to see like it's like an old fashioned like horse race. Like the whales are coming alongside, and I have Sion. Oh no! Hit the gas. He's drafting. He's like,
it's the it's the two guys from the Phantom Menace doing the pod racing.
Oh, the pod racing.
Yeah.
No, well, didn't you say that? No, this is pod racing.
This is Purgle racing.
Purgle racing.
Anakin shows up.
Hunter said, "What if
to
this?"
Ahsoka inside the thing, and he's like, "Now this is pod racing as a Force ghost."
Oh, but it has to be little Anakin.
Little Annie.
Yeah.
What's his name? Jake Lloyd.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think they need to wake up and
That's
see
so
the
wizard.
Purgles so they can say Good morning, Gil.
Good morning, Gil. Yes. It's funny because they don't know where they're going. What if they go to the wrong place and they have to, and they run into Hondo?
Technically, she says she has no idea, so they might not be going the same. They might not be going Peridia. They might be going to a different part of that galaxy.
Yeah,
which would be crazy.
And I still think there's maybe a problem with the coordinates because they mentioned that. The fact that they mentioned to that droid that you got to get these coordinates right. Balin said that, right? Or Shin, I think.
Oh, yeah.
To Elsbeth, like, are you sure your coordinates are correct?
Yeah. Because if you're off by a fraction, we could end up in the void forever or something like that.
Right. I don't think they're going to end up in the void.
No,
but,
it wouldn't really.
But they could use that because it calls back. Like they might have made one slight miscalculation and show up farther away than, Ahsoka does.
Right.
Gandalf.
Yeah, which is funny. Yeah, Gandalf. And she's so wizard now because she's Gandalf the White. Ahsoka the White. It all just comes full circle.
It does. Hunter says, what if? Bye, Ellie. Thanks for jumping in, Ellie.
Thanks
it's been fun listening to your
takes.
takes.
We will wrap it up.
Yeah, we're out.
And definitely keep sending in Talent on Target.
Yeah.
We'll do a big segment next week.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, sorry, we didn't have a chance to get to that tonight, but we will get to that next week. So come back next week.
This was a massive episode, and it's taken us
to talk to.
When it's just you and me, Dustin, we
just
tend to
speculate forever.
Well, dig in.
Yeah, we like to dig in. We like to dissect.
We're brothers. We are brothers. We've been together a long time.
Yes, and we know how to talk to each other for a long
This is what we do when we're not on camera.
Pretty much.
We speculate and talk about these things for hours. We will end the show and keep talking about it for 2 more hours. This is what we do. However...
So tune in for the after show.
The after show. Seriously.
Stay off target.
Hunter said, what if they starve in the space whale? Like, how much food do they have?
I thought it would have been funny if there was like already a civilization inside the space whale.
Oh, wow.
Like, hey!
Yeah.
Maybe.
That would be pretty cool.
Maybe that's where Ezra
somebody's
still
like
is.
selling like food.
Yeah. Did anybody else think out there of like Pinocchio when the space whale mouth opened and they went inside?
The eye, especially
the eye. I mean, there's only so many whale references you can think of. Finding Nemo.
Free Willy.
Free Willy.
Free Whaley.
Free Whaley. I mean, Pinocchio. Jonah. It says Mrs. Manrique.
Yeah, Jonah. Yes. Then there's also, the classic White Whale.
White Whale.
Moby Dick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aquaman, Jane Doe.
Aquaman. I don't know.
I don't know why we're running through these right now when we should be.
Jane Doe said Aquaman. Yeah. Sorry, you just said that.
That's fine.
I'm a little slow. But Hannah Roll did get the take that I did say about you when you were being born, by the way. I can't believe she remembered that story. It's crazy.
Mud.
Which one? What?
I wanted to name you when you were 4. And I told my parents I wanted to name you Mud.
Oh, yeah.
Because I watched Bugs Bunny. And it ended up being your
Which is
moniker.
You ended up calling me, my nickname.
I don't know why. I must have been watching a lot of Bugs Bunny when I was 4, but she's got a steel trap memory.
Mud, because Mud spelled backwards is dumb. That's why you wanted to name me Mud.
I learned it from
call me dumb.
I learned it from Bugs Bunny and old classic Bugs Bunny. I'm not saying I didn't know what that meant, but it was funny.
The love, bro.
The love, bro. Look, you're smarter than me now with Star Wars. I'm a lot dumber.
No.
When it comes to Star Wars stuff. I mean,
you're really good at nicknames though, too.
Well, I'll think of them. I'll think of something random, but it just comes out.
What did you say? Filoni worms?
Filoni worms, for sure.
Wrinkle guy?
Wrinkle man.
Oh, okay. Well, we've had enough fun for one night, I think. Thank you, everybody, for speculating. Wait, did we actually cover the poll?
Oh,
no, but Iñaki jumped in, by the way, from the future.
Man. I shouldn't have ended it.
Oh, no.
He's coming in now. He had a master's class last night, so Iñaki's studying. All you people, if you're like studying a thing right now or in school, like say something in the chat about it.
Seriously.
Like, I bet all of you out there are learning something, and we're just getting dumber. I am.
No, we have a great track record here at Stay on Target. Literally, everybody who's studied to our show in the background has aced their tests, okay? So, if anything, share it with your friends who are also in school.
That's a good.
Tell your friends.
Like the video if you haven't already.
Tell your frenemies, like the video, subscribe, and definitely study to us because don't study us. Study with us in the background.
Yes.
You will ace your test. It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee.
That's right. That's right. It's a guarantee. And Hunter did say that to Bismo as he took off. He's like, you better go study because you better get one Hondo.
One Hondo,
Otherwise, you're not allowed
baby.
to come back.
Yeah. Might be a T-shirt coming up soon.
Mhm.
A lot of people, sounds like a lot of people are studying, acing their
Yeah.
tests.
Well,
Good luck.
Skylar, stay on target and ace your tests.
Stay on target and ace your tests.
Mhm.
Hunter says we are 2 out of 2 on 100%.
Guaranteed formula. Yeah, 2 out of 2. Weird. Oh, that's pretty
Hannah
good.
says I aced a oceans class thanks to this stream.
Aw.
Was that with the whales?
Yeah, she knew it was all. She was all of it. That's
It's
good.
all the whales now.
That's amazing.
Wow,
Oh man.
you guys are so fun in the chat. I love
you guys
it.
are amazing.
It's-
I'm glad that we were able to talk with you guys a little
Yeah.
bit more tonight because last night it's a little tricky on the pre-Soka show just because there's so much we were trying to cover in an hour, and obviously we're pushing 3 hours at this point. We're
so
over
much
2.5.
to do and so little time.
Yes.
Strike
yes.
that, reverse it.
Strike that. Reverse it. Yeah.
I
Name
mean,
that movie reference.
pure imagination.
No, I'm just joking. Yeah, no, but thank you everybody for being here with us here tonight. I'm stroking out here at the end. My face is gonna de-age. Just what Hunter said earlier. He said like stroked out, de-aged Anakin.
Oh, it's terrible.
That was terrible.
It's
But
funny, though.
yeah, we appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for being here with us tonight, and we'll catch you guys next week, same time, same place. Tuesday, we got the pre-Soka show. We can't wait to see all of you there. And if you're watching this later, please chat below, comment below, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. And don't forget to submit your questions of the week and your talent on target to stayontarget.contact@gmail.com. Go check out our Instagram for more behind the scenes and check out our merch as well. We got lots of good stuff coming. We just appreciate every single one of you. Do you guys have anything else before we get
No.
on out of here?
I'm just gonna say it now that they better be watching out for a San-teva short coming out soon. It's gonna happen, and you're gonna laugh your head off.
Oh
Just
my
you
God.
wait.
I love it.
It's gonna happen. But yeah, thanks for tuning in and
Yeah.
buying the merch and liking the streams and commenting on the videos. You know, as
Yeah,
many
we
as we
appreciate
can get up, we
Yeah,
get
It
up.
helps everything with the algorithm. And all.
Yeah, it helps the channel grow, helps more people find us.
Yeah.
Not that we need more people because everybody's here that we want to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But-
fun.
It's
This
such a great
community is such a great
Yeah,
community. I
it-
love it.
Fact checker, what?
You know, and I was saying the exact same things.
Jinx.
Oh no.
I said earlier.
It's such a great community. It really is because you guys are awesome and you support each other and we
Yeah.
support you and you support us. It's like this trilogy of support.
It's like a
Yeah.
circle of support.
Circle of Scion
Targets.
support.
It's like a target.
Like
The
a
whole
target.
point.
It's, a
It's just like a
circle.
ring of support back
And with
there.
all of us together, we somehow stay on target.
The arrow keeps us pointed in the right direction.
Yes, it
And
does.
the chat's the arrow. Who's the arrow?
I don't know.
I think we're really thinking about this too hard.
Yeah.
The
I
point
need to
is,
take a
though,
sleep now.
With all of us together, we can make Star Wars better. I mean, that's the truth of it. Tagline. I think we need to get out of here before we say anything else silly. And yeah, from all of us here at Stay on Target, don't
Yes.
forget to always stay on target. He's making a list, checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or nice. San-teva is coming to town.